Yo, what's going on everybody? Xanthos Vice here, and we are back with some more Punishing Gray Raven. I hope you guys had a great day today. Yep, I'm back with another stream. Just need to take a bit of a rest. So this stream isn't going to be as long, probably just only like 2.5 hours, give or take. Just letting you guys know in advance. But anyway, where we last left off, we had finished the whole Renaissance de Fantastique chapter. And again, it was kind of like a somber, well, not really somber, but a neutral type of ending, where it's like, sure, we didn't like completely fail in anything, but it's not like we had fully completed the mission, but at least we finally have a whole understanding as to what the significance of the tower is, because in the end, it's supposed to be like a display of what the future potential has for humanity, but only if they're willing to actually understand what it means to continue on with it, with like the risk that it takes, how much participation is going to be needed moving forward, and if they can live up to the expectations of the people of the past. But also learning more about Michel as to what it was meant to represent for not only himself, but for Carl as well. And I thought it was a really interesting story. And like I said, I think it did a good job for clearing up the story for both Isla and Sika as well. Because again, they didn't accomplish what they had wanted. Sika didn't get to complete the mission properly like she would have wanted to, and Isla didn't get to have the whole reuniting with Selena, but it is a start. It helped them finally get at the starting line that they needed to actually have more confidence in themselves, that they're on the right track. That it doesn't always have to be the same glamorous path as someone else as their heroes, which can always be the problem sometimes, whether it's like something monumentous like this, or even just in the everyday life of like, whether you're trying to follow in the footsteps of a famous artist or athlete or whatever, you tend to think that following their same path is going to be the same, but it's like, it doesn't work that way. It only worked because it was their path, strayed from anyone else, because you can't copy the same people. No matter how hard you try, it's that bump of like the admiration you have for them that's going to keep holding you back from it and not realizing your own true potential. So I think it did a really good job for that as well. So yeah. Now that we've got that out of the way, we can finally start with the next chapter, with Two Shackles, which I am really hyped for. Because again, this is the transformation for Alpha that I've been waiting for. Because the fact that she'd been in her regular form this whole time, what did they call it again? I don't remember the name of this frame in particular. Oh yeah, the Crimson Abyss frame. Not to say that it doesn't already look pretty cool, but finally seeing where does she get this from? Is she like fully becoming an agent, or is it something more down the lines that she's maybe going to become an anomaly, similar to like how Roland was at the hands of Ishmael? I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to see at least a bit as to what she's been doing since then in her hunt for Luna. Okay, how's it going? Also, how bad has Van been in Daybreak 2? I mean, still the same shit Van as always. I mean, I haven't had anything that bad yet, but that's because it's like after the 1A and 1B route, I went back to the Agnes route instead of the Van one with Fairy and Aaron, because I was like, okay, what's the lesser of two evils of these two routes? And I was like, the Agnes route, so let's go for it. But yeah, you know, same as always. So yeah, let's go ahead and see how far I can get onto this today. I doubt I'm gonna get to half, but it'd be really cool if somehow I did. I heard traces. 10 a.m., 8 kilometers outside Oasis. Catch it! You couldn't have run far. We can't let him find the Forsaken. Sand flies as a car adorned with skulls and twisted letters charges across the desert, sound of its engine covering even the music it's playing. And the vehicle is a grey wolf. One can imagine what it's gone through just by looking at it. Wounds deep enough to reveal the bones of black sludges are composed of dirt around its exposed flesh dyed red by fresh blood spill. No way to know how an animal this engine can run this fast. Damn it, I didn't expect Watt to pull a stunt like this. We can't let his pet spill the beans, and people find out that we were the ones who kidnapped the Scarlet Revelation members. Watanabe won't let us off the hook. Those guys from Curran are only going to cover their tracks. Fuck. This bastard's a fast runner. Stopping. Wait, is that a person there? Wait, Scarlet Revelation. Was that the cult-like group from before? Actually, no. Wouldn't they have stopped that by now? Stray wolf is just flesh and blood after all. As it runs, it stumbles. Falls next to a lonesome figure, no longer able to stand. The figure looks drastically different from the armed bandits. The only weapon on her is the blade on her back. Doesn't look like a Forsaken to me. Serving through the dust storm, the leading bandit in the vehicle finds the figure alone without the uniform and gears of a Forsaken soldier. Figures she must be a scavenger who got separated from the group. Go over her. When in front of the car, sweeps up the tatted cloak on her body, revealing her silvery hair. Is that a construct for heterochromia? It's only the white light reflected by her blade blinds them. The severed vehicle flips and rolls above Alpha's head before falling into the yellow sand. It looks down at the dying wolf. Plus, a foam in its mouth and shivers as it tries to stand, railing with a leg. There is a pale blue collar around its neck, suggesting that humans have tamed this beast of nature. Stealthily, he looks ahead, cloudy eyes glistening faintly. The wind carries the music to them. Perhaps fate has saved the music player from being cut in half like the vehicle was. Turns to look at Alpha. It's mine, Alpha is someone who's willing to help him, even though he's never known her scent. Before she does it, the thing she sees. Working guns mingle with flesh and blood. Shattered daggers embedded in vital fluid covered sand. The center is a crimson figure, eerily reminiscent of a demon from the abyss. Shimmy its long blade and casting a provocative gaze her way. Shut up! But the vanishes as quickly as it appears, nothing but a faint sting off his left eye like a ripple underwater. Covers her left eye with her white hair. Like the wolf's mournful plea, she continues toward her target. She's just a passerby. Getting vulnerable only leads to undesirable consequences. Not to mention that the commotion just now is enough to alert some people around this part of the world. Half an hour later. Boss, we looked around. Still a faint hit of PV in the scene. We can't locate the source. Good job, fellas. Whoever did this must have left already. Notify the other camps to sailor for the next 24 hours. Roger. Did we find Watt? We found him in the trunk of the car. Should we let his family know? The only family Watt had died in the previous conflict. I'm sorry. I didn't know. It's not your fault. You never mentioned it to anyone. Hanabi takes out the chip from the wolf's collar and clenches his fist. Let's cremate Watt and Walker together. And that was his last request. Back it up. Ask the smelters to collect the wreckage of the vehicle. Still have a few things to discuss with Babylonia alone. The disappearances in these people connected to Curran, aren't they? Happened before, but they always covered their tracks very thoroughly, leaving only inconsequential pawns in their wake. Do we really need to work with Babylonia? Perhaps it would be cleaner if we do it ourselves. Some things are more effective when we work with them. Right now, our priority is to stop these kidnappings from happening again. And there are still a few decent people on Babylonia. Sure, there are a few good eggs in the new gen, but you're trying to contact the gang that ordered the Great Evacuation. Will those selfish bastards really care about those disappearing cultists? They'll be interested in the information. After all, it's no secret that the Parliament and Kurano don't see eye to eye. Ah, Yeah, that's true. Any advantage they can have to put put a leash on Kurina would be great for them, because then they could uh, be able to use more of their resources than what they're withholding. And we need them to verify this intel anyway. Glad to see Kurina still a group of sons of bitches. The longest under figure appears near the wreckage, not long after the Forsaken left. She fed us with the sand with her umbrella. Gotcha. Red spark flashed in the air before the silent machine sings again. This power is surely convenient. How intoxicating. Having altered the signal of the music player to let that human accidentally discover the information on that group. She suspects the humans will continue investigating. Her mission has gone smoothly, just with the push of a small coincidence. And an unexpected catch as well. Hurrying alongside the tune from the music player, the son of figure joyously makes her way in the same direction. I surely hope I'll pass this internship assessment. Damn, I still can't believe I'm already finally at chapter 23 after all this time. Well, then again, I guess I have taken too long with trying to do chapters ahead of where I'm supposed to be. A familiar voice interrupts the faint music in the background. Something on your mind? Nothing. I just thought I heard someone singing. Singing? Looking at the near distance, see a crowd working inside a large conservation area. Some of them are scavengers trying to escape the hetero creatures. Some are cargo crew from Agdalek. Some are Babylonian personnel like Lucy and you. It's probably the scavengers singing. I couldn't tell. Here you are. I thought you'd be here since you weren't with the engineering force. We were trying to help, but the engineering force kicked us out. There's nothing you can help. If someone sees you here, this place will be packed with people again. You better find somewhere to stay out of sight, I say. We don't want to disturb their work, even if we're just trying to be helpful. After the hetero tower was reversed, the situation on the surface changed drastically. The blue spire indicates the first genuine safe zone on Earth. A place that doesn't have to rely on the giant CPFs or worry about attacks from waves of hetero creatures. Like the color of the spire itself has given humanity a haven of blue sky and clean air. Most conservation areas were built away from the front line in the past due to many factors. The concentration level of PV, the movement of hetero creatures, the location of water sources, and so on. Before the appearance of the hetero tower, there were only a few small conservation areas nearby that also served as supply stations and lookouts near the front line. Most conservation areas are far from the tower, relying on CPFs to sustain the basic requirements of survival. The resources required to keep CPFs running are nothing to scoff at. After long discussion, the world government decided to relocate the existing large conservation areas into the clean zone at the Hetero Tower. The monitoring facilities surrounding it are more or less set up. Overseeing the new tower day and night, there are also equipped with mega weapons on standby. Humanity is treating this rare miracle with utmost caution. Ah, I see. So that's why it was so important later on for us to have to fix it as soon as possible when it came to having Luna help us. Because it created this miracle for the Earth. But the relocation hasn't gone well from the very start. You're asking me to move to a place that doesn't need CPFs anymore. What happens to my job? Can you guarantee that I'll receive the same treatment in the new place? What about the serums I've stockpiled? A clean zone without PV? Can it be real? You're not trying to move us there as test subjects, are you? I bet they're trying to work us to death to fix up the place before kicking us out. Why wouldn't the top brass of Babylonia move there right away otherwise? Anxiousness, uncertainties, distrust, manipulations. Exhausted people prefer the stability of now instead of the unknown beauty of the future. I mean, it's fair. Because they make a valid point. If it really was the safest place on Earth, why don't we treat it as such? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get that it's like we have our resources in space, and in case we need to make emergency missions and stuff like that, and keep our supplies guaranteed to be able to be used when necessary, without any interference on the ground. It is kind of bad to be up there, but we aren't really setting the best example that this is indeed the safest place. I will grant it that. And it is fair that, yeah, not everyone has the same agenda. There have been many people who've tried to establish their own hidden agendas throughout all these situations. Especially from what we've seen. Kurano, Agdalek, the Forsaken, the Ascendants, Vonnegut, Norman, it's like everybody. So it's like, can you really say for certain that you can just trust it? That's like, after so long, after so many deceptions, after so many betrayals, there's finally a place where they can belong. It is hard to fathom it. The conservation areas aren't owned by Babylonia. The rest of these places cannot be ignored. Wells told me you're willing to do the promotional work. There's no need for that expression. You know full well how the situation on the surface differs from the past, as a commander on the front line yourself. The clean zone created by the Inver Hetero Tower, the wicked machines from Constellia. The PV is no longer humanity's only obstacle. These two phenomena have presented us new challenges, but also new opportunities. The quicker we can decide on the way to address them, the more likely we can decide the shape of the future. Convincing the people from the conservation areas? It's probably a job for the diplomatic corps instead of me. Don't underestimate your influence. What you've achieved on the battlefield is nothing short of a miracle. People are not the only ones who trust Grey Raven's judgment. Obviously, some also consider your lot an uncontrollable factor. But even those people can't lay a finger on you now. Trust is built over a long period of time. That can be destroyed in an instant. The Great Evacuation was such an instance. There's no way of knowing if we made the right call. Yeah, I can understand why it's like they can't really trust themselves to be doing that because, again, the Great Evacuation was supposed to help people. But in the end, it just divided people. And just shows like where the world government of Babylonia stood as to who they thought should be allowed the chance to live by going into space and would suffer here. There's no doubt there was a betrayal to the people remaining on the surface. It's unlikely for my generation to reestablish trust with them. Yeah, that is true. Ultimately, that is what it comes down to. And besides, it's different from like when it's a hero who's actually been in the face of danger every single time to protect the world. Like, we've been through hell and back multiple times for everybody. So it's like, that at least shows we don't care about like the borders between people, the barriers. What's important is humanity as a whole, as a collective. Luckily, there's a new generation now. You in particular, Grey Raven Commandant. That's why I want you to assist in the conservation areas. So, is Clean Zone really safe? Yeah, we came up with that conclusion after thorough investigations. You can read the report from the Science Council whenever you want. This will be our first step to reclaim Earth, and our first step to rebuild trust with the people on the surface. We won't rest until all risks are eliminated. You'll offer every jobs with the same compensation and a safer environment? Fine, I'll trust you. I'll help you persuade the others. It's fine. Sure, Babylonia wouldn't send their wonder child just to trick us. After all, I'd rather just someone who walks the same earth than those who sleep soundly in a space garden. Yeah, because again, it's like, we've traversed the earth. We've been to the terrible places. We've been to the desolate places. We've been to the wishful places. It was like we understand what they've gone through. We've seen it with our own eyes. We've experienced it. And we've experienced the hell and despair that they have at times. Alright, business can take place anywhere. But I imagine only soldiers like you will need these serums in the future. Wanna buy some now while you can? How incredible! People were barely surviving just a while ago. Now we got the clean zone. A place beyond our wildest dream. We'll cooperate. After all, we would have died in that basement if it weren't for you. Even though you were unconscious the whole time. It's good to have you here. Leader was hoping to take this chance to meet you. The cargo crew's preparation is almost done. What about you guys? Wanshi should be calling us any minute now. He's never late. This is Wanshi. Reconnaissance in area FD12 is complete. I am. Are you discussing something else? I can report later. It's nice to take a nap first. Don't worry, we just hired a cargo crew from Agdalink this time. Chongyu is representing the ACA. You don't have to talk around your findings when he's here. And that's what the person in charge is saying. Keeps moving, one of his limbs probing forward like a worshipper trapped in a road. Area FD12 is the last reconnaissance location in this direction. Although, the concentration level of PV now is much lower than what's recorded in the files. It hasn't dropped to 0. I suppose the reach of the clean zone ends here. Makes sense. Because, like, if we really wanted to, we'd need many clean zones widespread over different parameters. Still, we'll have to wait for the results from the detectors we deployed to get an accurate reading of the actual concentration level. To confirm the area cleansed by the Inver Tower, the situation within the clean zone, Babylonia sent out almost every recon team, and formed a joint reconnaissance company. The company heads out in 12 directions around the Inver Tower for an extensive recon mission. As their investigations progress, more and more clean zones absent of PV are discovered. The support force that follows them has since recovered many supplies that the Hetero creatures kept them from retrieving in the past, especially industrial supplies from large warehouse houses. Because of that, requests for supplies from logistics have also become easier. But the Joint Reconnaissance Company has also brought back many concerning discoveries apart from good news. Did the immobile hetero creatures match the previous reports? Yeah. Although there isn't a pattern of how they're spread, all these hetero creatures were heading in the same destination. You guessed it. They're all heading for the Inver Tower. Just a pretty lazy name, don't you think? It's just a temporary name. Science counts as analysis that the tower is also paused. After all, we can't get inside it now, no matter how hard we try. Lee's still the only person who's gone inside, right? He still doesn't remember the crucial parts? Right, because it would have been too much information for him to even take back anyway. Especially since it's one from a higher being. It doesn't seem to be Ishmael, but at least maybe the person leading her. And again, only one. I guess because it's like he's passed the test, right? Like maybe being completely immune to PV is like showing a way that you are a chosen, that you have truly ascended. Like being able to use it, sure, but not being harmed by it is probably something else. Or maybe just another defining trait of it. He did a mind memory scan, but we couldn't find anything. The memory data obtained from Lee's mind replicated the sequence when Lee entered the top of the tower from his transport craft, and the link for the sequence matched the link for your connections. But it didn't contain the key moments when the tower reversed. The time recorder in his mind also reverted to 0 at one point. Asimov said that it could only happen when memory data exceeded the storage capacity. Sounds like the tower used to look like a figment of the imagination. It's not a bad name. Want me to relate it to the bosses? Whatever you say. Just let me continue my report. Has a snake-shaped body with 8 arthropod legs. Crystals with sharp edges cover its surface, acting as aggressive spikes that service both armor and blade. We discovered 12 undocumented types of hetero creatures this time. We uploaded all related images and data to the general staff. That's 86 new types in total. Wonder how many more there are we have yet to see. Hetero creatures have been relying on their endless numbers to annihilate humanity's bases. Whether by some unknown design or evolutionary instinct, all hetero creatures seem to end up with hedgehog-like bodies. Force a human forces to waste their finite ammo to attack the creatures from afar, while inhibiting construct's advantages on the battlefield. Once human forces are out of ammo, only the number on one side will be dwindling in close-quarter combats. Thanks for all the attention you've given us lately. Crystals crumble in the white sand carried in the distance by a gentle breeze. These hetero creatures also experience a certain level of weathering. As the Science Council expected, they're not as weathered as the ones nearer to the hetero tower. And the corrupted? No, that's not what they are. The intelligent machines here have all stopped moving. All their logic circuits are heavily damaged. We haven't found anyone on the list of missing personnel. I'll still keep an eye out. Any sign of the Red Tide? We've inspected all underground tunnels, bunkers, storage facilities, and more. There's no sign of it anywhere. But there's one place that's concerning. When she enlarges the visuals of the terminal, see a construct in red with white hair dashing by the corner or behind the corner of the footage. An ascendant. This was 5 days ago. We paid extra attention to that location after we detected some unusual concentrated levels of PV there. It was an abandoned factory. It's been quite a while to find a functioning camera that gave us this footage. Ascendants can't control the punishing virus. She shouldn't have left behind such obvious traces. Maybe she was in a hurry? There are many possible reasons. I'll let you guys figure that out. Thanks for your work. I wouldn't mind borrowing your sleeping pod a little bit longer. Want she out? Commandant. But why would she show up after disappearing for such a long time? Why'd she leave such an obvious trail? Or maybe she's hoping to get help from us, right? Like, because she did ask us before, where was Luna, or if we knew anything about it. Maybe she believes that the situation has changed now, and maybe we would at least have a new clue for her. Which I would put out a question, considering we can at least establish some connection with Ascendants. Because true, it's like, where the fuck would Luna even be now? She should have already escaped from the moon, but where would that have put her? Separate ignore the questions you have in mind and concentrate on the work before you. Chongyu? I know. Notify those in charge and come up with a new security plan, right? Yeah. Thanks. First it was the hetero creatures, then it was the weird tower. Almost forgot about the Ascendants at this point. What are these sneaky bastards up to? Undercurrents and omens. The dark concealed room, faint blue projections light up one after another. Potentially blurred projections turned them into ghosts hidden from history, cloaked in oppressive darkness. During the day, there are powerful council members, industry leaders, or generals who can sway the Babylonian headquarters. But here they're the same. Remember Colonel. Let's begin. As always, this encrypted channel will only last 2 hours. The casualty of the disruption at the hetero towers freed up many seats. Parliament took this chance to fill them with their people, including constructs. Oh, I see. Right, because the people of Colonel wouldn't have had a strong enough mind to been able to not get corrupted from what happened with the hetero tower, from like that sonar. I see, so they had a lot of casualties on this. And good, at least we got... Again, it's not a good thing to say, but at least there's less of Colonel's influence within the world government, or parliament. Their reasons were sound, and the people supported it. We couldn't stop them. Even though those are insignificant positions, we still have lost a complete chain of command. It's unlikely we will again. Isn't that enough for them to make a hero squad? How much more influence do they want to give constructs now? It's alright. Deserters are also constructs, aren't they? Acid was just trying to calm down the wavering constructs and turn the public's attention away from the deserters. Right, because we still haven't really resolved that whole issue. It's not like we can say that there are no more deserters, but at least there's less than before. Yo, what's up, Cadabra? Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Don't push them too hard. It won't do us any good. We just have to make sure this temporary situation doesn't become the norm. Regarding the surface, only 32% of our recruits have re-established contact, most of whom are located in general or larger organizations like Actilec or ARU. We haven't been connected by most of the smaller bases. We're still tallying the number of the subordinates of those recruits. What about our labs on the surface? 4 of our medium general laboratories and 2 small biological laboratories are situated within the clean zone. It's only a matter of time before they've recovered, so we vacated them. All of our laboratories outside the clean zone have been reactivated, not counting the small memory research center destroyed by the Ascendants. Except for the North Asian Research Institute of Life Science and Evolution, aka Fort Winter. Ah, here we go, Winter again. Yeah, because in the end, we still haven't really done anything about the whole Project Winter thing or bringing it to light, have we? Because it's like, sure, we kind of stopped, like, some of the ghosts from that haunting us in the current day, but it's not like we've actually resolved it at all. Like, we haven't really brought Kurino on all those charges, considering they had done it illegally as well. What with the stuff they had done on the moon. Especially with Karenina's grandfather, too. But I guess it is what it is, given how much stuff we have to deal with at a time. The team we sent to Fort Winter hasn't responded after they entered. We sent in all private forces we can mobilize. The Aurora Squadron is still under maintenance. Any further action will expose us to the Parliament. I see. So this is also why they tried to get that stuff from Constellia, right? They tried to get themselves a strong foothold again after all this time. Also with that that entity that they were trying to capture, the test subject. But again, I don't know what the test subject would have been. Maybe it was like another maybe it was them trying to find like another thing that could have posed as like their version of Lee, being a construct or machine that doesn't get corrupted by the PV, maybe? Because we haven't seen that it's like corrupted or anything. It just seems to be acting normally and then just acting like a parasite to Elisa. But nothing more than that. The last incident cost us too much. A large private army was one of the key reasons why Kurino could act as they wished in the shadow. But with the Hetero Tower, the sharper the blade of theirs is, the deeper it cuts them. As high-level officers in charge of Kurino's military deployment feels powerless for the first time. Did the Ascendants take over it? Unlikely. There were a significant amount of time before and after we deployed our team. And given what we know about how Ascendants operate, it's hard to believe that they would stay in one place for this long. There wasn't any sign of Hetero creatures before the entry either, so we've eliminated that possibility as well. We suspect that some unknown incident has taken place inside Fort Winter. Initiate the destruction sequence. What about the research data inside? That's the main research facility of Project Winter. We might not be able to recover the past data with our processing centers around the world, but we didn't receive our latest batch of experiment data in time. What if there's... We'll just have to do it again, and that's okay. Some things must never be found out. The Parliament has walked down a different path regarding what they need from Project Winter. They've gotten their specialized frames that are fully immune to the PV. Given what they want is to reclaim Earth and eliminate the PV, this is as far as they need to go. But for us, the specialized frame is just a byproduct of this process. Our ultimate goal is to acquire the power of the Ascension Network. Though our brief partnership has been pleasant, our fundamental goals are irreconcilable. Perhaps our honeymoon phase with the Parliament is coming to an end. The conflict between the Parliament and us will reach a boiling point sooner or later. The only reason we can still coexist is because neither of us have leverage over the other yet. I see. I'll make the arrangements. Please give me some time for deployment. Be quick. A new age has begun, and it'll run over anyone who can't catch up. I think you'll be interested in the next piece of intel from our mystery guest. It concerns Grey Raven, the elite squad you've been paying close attention to. We can make good use of this information. We may be able to deliver a lethal blow to Hassan and his people. Ah, shit. Wanted they get the recording too? Shows about Alpha? Damn, I didn't think that anything of this still existed. But then again, I guess it goes back to the whole part, like, because they took precautions to focus on themselves getting evacuated from the Great Evacuation and trying to keep stuff under wraps, they couldn't afford to have people saying, hey, why are you guys going back there when you're the guys who are supposed to lead the planet right now, right? Like, now and this time they can safely search for it before anyone finds it. And true, even if it's like it was a legal project, it would still be information that's like, it shows the development toward that research and at least gives us information about the Ascension Network that we didn't have before. Feels incredible no matter how many times we run this experiment. I can't believe how much more we can improve and optimize our frame. Director Kaplan, we detected a fluctuation in the test subject's mind. Should we terminate the experiment? Oh, Kaplan again. Who is the test subject? Terminate it and initiate the Lullaby program. Has the data we collected this time been submitted to Fort Winter? Lullaby? I feel like I've heard that too being talked about before. Fort Winter. Winter. The phrase pierces the depth of the mind like a spear, blinding her vision with blood like crimson red. Uploaded. Initiating the Lullaby program. Steady electromagnetic pulses gradually ease the pain in her mind, casting away the anguish as well as the ability to think. Can't fall asleep here. Despite seeking a way to stay away, she's drawn by a faint red light. She reaches out. How is that possible? It's the Inver device! Execute contingency 0. Bounded by wires and apparatus, the Ascendant opens her eyes. 2 a.m. Conservation Area 14. What was that? Oh, memories of the previous Lucia, right? So this is when, wait, what? What, did Kurino, like, take her and try to, like, get information on her when she had transformed into an Ascendant? Or maybe that's what she was running from, actually. That when she passed out and was out of energy after the whole debacle that happened, Kurino had tried to get information out of her like they did with Luna. No, but then why would they be able to share memories now? But then again, they did link their minds to each other at one point during the whole battle against the Red Tide. When we tried to save Luna the first time. So maybe that's why she can still kind of like feel the memories for the original that didn't exist from when this Lucia had reawoken. She tries to remember the images in her head just now, but what was a clear memory is now enveloped in impenetrable mist. Obviously, this aberration is caught by someone who spends days and nights with her. Lucia. It's late, Commandant. Aren't you resting? There's a transport craft heading here for supplies soon. I couldn't sleep, so I went out for a walk. Liv would be worried if she were here. Please don't tell her. You seem to be spacing out a lot lately. See your concerned gaze as Lucia chooses not to deny it. Yeah, just a vague impression, but I feel like I've been seeing and hearing visions and voices that don't exist. It's like how I entered Alpha's deep mind underneath City 75 during the Polyphash encounter. Could it be the residual effect of that deep dive? Yeah, because that's the thing, is like, because they're so similar, maybe it's like some of her memories from before had attached to her. which would make sense because she still did enter the depths of Alpha's mind when she tried to get her own answer. So considers it seriously before shaking her head. The Science Council has cured the effects of that incident. It's been so long that I think it's unlikely to relapse. Not to mention that this is a little different. A little different? Even though my visions were blurred during the deep dive, I can still recall fragments of them afterward. But I can't remember anything just now except for the fact that I know I saw something. When did this start? The feelings I had before were too vague to be sure, but I know it didn't start today. Should I establish a deep mind connection to check? Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, true, when did it happen? Come into contact with Lucia's emotions simmering under the surface through the deep mind connection. Trust and anxiousness. Surprise expression doesn't last for long before her mind calms down again. Don't have any professional equipment with you, but given your familiarity with your team members and your experience calibrating frames at the Science Council by Asimov, easily perform a simple checkup. The ocean is as calm as always. No hidden reefs or alarming storms. Carefully eliminating all possible concerns, you exit. I didn't find anything. Every data at the frame is normal too. Lucy seems to have also completed a self-checkup on her frame while you were connected to her deep mind. Maybe it is the effects of her infected mind beacon during the battle at the Hetero Tower. Maybe it's the result of the exhaustion from overworking constantly. I heard that constructs approaching retirement age often experience this kind of deep trance. Maybe it's time for me to retire and work as an instructor at the training camps back home. Where did you hear that from? The construct instructor from the training camp told us back then. We did find out that she was just lying to skip her class. So you were joking? Yes, I was joking. It's okay, Commandant. It's nothing serious. Stop looking so worried. Is that so obvious? Fine. When the mission's over, you're gonna do a detailed inspection. Of course. Or maybe it's because she's close to the Hetero Tower, right? Maybe that's what it is. Because to be fair, when Lee was in there, he could see visions of his other selves. So maybe in this case, because there's another existing Lucia, technically, it establishes that connection with her. Like across space-time. Cold breeze carries away the imaginary warmth from her palm. It clutches her fist, but there's nothing there. Oh! Are they like sinking? Is that what this is? Because you could kind of say it's similar to the whole Kamu and Kamui. Because Kamu was just another he was his own original person too. But at times, sometimes their senses would overlap with one another. I guess it actually would be more possible for them to be more in sync with one another because they literally are the same person. Unlike the two who are completely separated individuals from the beginning. This is getting more and more frequent. Just occasional voices at first, before visual module began to perceive sporadic images. Eventually the other senses of the frame were affected. These should belong to that Lucia. I could consider stopping these interferences, but as they got more intense, our countermeasures failed one by one. If I can't stop them, I should exploit them properly. Separating the information she needs from the blurred vision, she infers Lucia's movements and plans her next step accordingly. The ruins, the Crimson Figure heads toward the conservation area. Suddenly she stops and shouts at a shadowed area hidden from the moonlight. Show yourself! It's impressive how sensitive you still are in this condition. No wonder you're qualified to be an agent. Unfortunately, I don't have the legs to walk on. How about we keep our wonderful distance? Ah, okay. Probably the summer person, right? I wholeheartedly apologize for appearing before you in this embarrassing state. What do you want? I just want to offer a gift to prove my sincerity. Or oh, okay. Maybe it's also that too. Like, the Ascension Network is to, like, be reborn as a completely different individual, right? Or at least supposedly what an agent is supposed to go through. And technically, when Roland had been, it's not like he transformed into an agent or something, but like when Roland was trying to establish his own role, he had gone to he had his other personality as well, so maybe something like that. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just trying to think logically, like out of all the examples that have been shown here, what could it possibly be? You're so sincere that you won't show up before me? There's a transport craft landing in Area D12 soon. I think you'll find it very helpful. You know what I'm heading there for. How sincere can I be if I'm not pandering to what you desire? Instead of taking a risk at the well-guarded conservation area, you might find a more fitting prey inside that isolated transport craft. Is that sincere enough for you? We'll meet again. Reunion. This could be a trap. Sincerity could be covering forever intentions. Babylonia wouldn't have set such a convoluted trap. Plus, they're pretty dumb, honestly. Alpha's not sure when or why those noises appear. She doesn't mind using them to clear her thoughts for now. You know that Babylonia isn't your only enemy. Humans aren't your only enemies. Turn back or believe her? Even if it's a trap, they would still need a sizable bait. Yeah, and just a transport craft wouldn't really be bait anyway. If it was at least signals from Luna, sure. Because everyone's already been doing that so far. Alpha quickly scans every shadowy corner that can be used to hide while she's running, make sure no one's following or ambushing her. I'd rather choose something I can control than gamble near the tower. It's not fully under your control. If you fail this time, you'll truly lose everything. And how do you know your choice is correct? Because I've seen the price of turning back. There are no free gifts in this world. Rights and duties are the two sides of the scale. Running away now is just borrowing from your future. Time for a payment that's here. I could have sworn that the voice in her head was chuckling self-depressively. Run away. I never planned to be an agent. There's only one thing Alpha's wanted to do since the night she shed her heavy armor. To fulfill Luna's wish and let her do what she wants. Luna's arguments will not help her situation right now. Tense emotions in her mind will only cause something to sprout. Right, because she has to be level-headed, because otherwise her transformation will start to take over. Again, she denies trying to be an agent. She made her choice because she knew that was the only path to what she wanted. You're no longer connected by blood. Do you want us to have your connection as descendants as well? Even though we no longer have the same blood flowing inside us, it doesn't mean our wishes are different. Cold moonlight may not be able to eliminate her path, but the light reflected by the satellite 380,000 kilometers away shows Luna that she's not only surrounded by darkness. That's enough. I won't accept it. The Ascension Network chose Luna, and so did I. The Ascension Network didn't find her. She found the Ascension Network. Beneath the ruins a few months ago. Kill you. The remains of her wings cover her motionless body. Her claws have been cleanly cut off. She tries to stand up and tear the prey before her apart, but she cannot move a single joint of hers. There she pushes out while she talks, leaks from her shattered chest cavity, with the sound of shattered bellows. Soon a purple-haired construct appears before Alpha, sitting on a strangely shaped chair. Why didn't you just leave? I didn't think you'd be happy to see me. Lucia. Name that Alpha has not heard for a long time causes a slight ripple in her mind. Its impact is nothing more than a fallen leaf on a pond, quickly dissipating. What are you doing here? I'm just trying to take my companion away at this point. Hearing that, Alpha sheaves her blade and heads toward the base, no longer suspicious. Lithos, keep her here. We can't do it on our own. And that wasn't what Mister ordered us to do. Now stop talking. It's only going to worsen your injuries. Take her, Paper Crane. As she says that, the chair transformed into snake-like form, carefully wrapping around Voodoo. Aren't you going to kill me? I don't do anything pointless. It'd make you feel better. Don't worry, Paper Crane will take you back even if I'm dead. If there's a way to eliminate you once and for all, I might have done so. They would have tried to contact an Ascendant back then, even without your meddling. The tragedy was inevitable. It was just a matter of time. Babylonia no longer concerns me anymore. Something more important to me than to be trapped by the shadow of the past. Is that so? Despite Mister's disposition, I do hope that your wish can come true. Give it up. You're just going to hurt yourself. Peter doesn't seem to hear what Lithos says. He's just babbling nonsense now, ignoring how her vital fluid is dripping from her chest cavity to the floor along Paper Crane's tail. Relax, Loki, Voodoo. I'll do my best to save you all. To hear the message, Alpha rushed toward the ruins as fast as she could. She was hoping to board the ship heading for the moon to find Luna before Roland and Voodoo did, still right before having departed earlier. She confronted Voodoo. Alpha also noticed a fourth person rushing to join them secretly. Realizing Vonnegut's play, Alpha had to stay behind Leia. If she boarded the ship with Roland, whatever happened could not be advantages to rescuing Luna. Both Vonnegut and Alpha knew that Alpha wouldn't give up on Luna no matter what she became. Perhaps that was the ending the agent was trying to prevent. To increase the chances of a successful rescue, Alpha told Roland everything she wanted to say. Those words get past to Luna. How's Luna doing now? What would she choose? Shooting star flies across the sky, torching the veil of darkness, slowly descending onto the surface. Luna. Between the Earth and sky lies a distance of 6,400 kilometers. The tail of the meteor has faded from the horizon. Even though they no longer have the same blood flowing inside them, an inseparable bond still connects them tightly. The sun has just cast its first ray of light when Alpha arrives. The neglected linden has grown past the dilapidated house at this point. Sunlight shines through the gaps between the branches, spots of light enveloping the Silver Girl. She's looking at the rotten fence in front of her. She's barely tall enough to reach the halfway point when she left. Now she cannot find any trails of the past anymore. You see someone approaching, the girl turns around and finds what she cannot live without. The girl wants to just watch her silently like this. She also wants to give her a hug. She wants to tell her everything. She also cherishes the quiet time they share. Still, there's one thing she must do first. Alpha approaches Luna on a stone path. She did so many years ago. This wasn't a garden with overgrown weeds back then. It's already nighttime when Luna and Alpha finish sharing their journeys.
Hetero creatures. The twins. So this is how far the punishing virus has evolved. Gabriel's ambitions inevitably killed them in the end. Can the creations born from pure punishing virus reach the same end? What end?
It doesn't explain. Just looks at Alpha with apologetic gaze.
It's something I'll only understand after becoming an agent, isn't it? I figured.
Alpha continues, not persisting.
In that case, why is Vonnegut getting interested in these hetero creatures? And the merciful one I encountered in the underground tunnels, where they were developing the heterohype mother, said she was here for the glad tidings. Even though they can't reach the end, it can be used as a test for the filtering. I suppose Vonnegut was trying to encourage more worthy seeds to sprout this way. As for the merciful one, I used to think that she was just an eccentric agent, but after I reconnected with the Ascension Network, I realized that she might be more than meets the eyes. I cannot tell if she really is an agent even now. So, I have no idea what she thinks of those hetero creatures.
Yeah, because that seems to be a thing. It's like, sure, they call her an agent, but it's like, is she really one? Because that's the thing too. It's like, if she really was an agent, how is she getting by with working together with the world government and such? Or
who did she work for again?
It was a specific name for the group, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, they would have figured it out if she really was. At least I would hope so.
Still, Vonnegut worries me more out of the two of them. Even though his people are the ones on the field most of the time, they're always acting under his authorization. The recent desertion on Babylonia was likely his doing. You were investigating it? The defecting construct ran to my blade and thought I was an Ascendant who recruited him. After I made him tell me everything, I got a few more defectors and interrogated them. They all said similar things that pointed toward Vonnegut and his lackeys. You didn't used to care about things like this. I don't care about Babylonia, but that man is linked to the humans. He was the one who gave out information about you.
Right, yeah.
Even people who were there in City 75 didn't know Babylonia had you. He, on the other hand, knew your exact location.
Yes, thank you. How exactly did he have that info? Because again, even if it's like an insider, who would benefit from all of that as a whole on the human side? Especially like the fact that they let her escape is the other thing too. It's like, it really is hard for me to actually think what kind of regular human would be able to gain anything. I mean, sure, it stops Kurno from getting anything, and that's good for everybody. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't seem like they've done anything in regards to like retrieving Luna or encountering Roland to try to get her. So it's like, whatever force could that be? If he was getting information from someone else. But if he's doing it on his own, it's like, where did he get that info?
That wasn't information that nobody could find out. He couldn't have known just by planting spies and informers. He must have collaborated with some of those people. In a way, he was culpable for their decisions. Not to mention that he was thinking about abandoning you on the moon. That alone makes him my enemy.
Right, yeah, because it was like, either save Luna or kill her.
Humans are never a unified people. Even the same person can make different choices in different situations. I'm not surprised if some of them would want to work with an agent. What we have to worry about is what humans have promised that agent. Or what made them so confident that they had something even an agent would be interested in. Should we investigate?
And that's the other thing too. It's like, if he was working with Kurno, why give out the information? It's like, what was he giving him in exchange? Information about the Ascension Network? They could already do that just by having... Well, then again, I guess it would be more time consuming, and that's the issue, right? Because time is not something they can always afford with how much the situation regarding PV and hetero creatures is.
This is something that concerns Babylonia, not us. Although all his manipulation seems to have failed so far, it doesn't seem to bother him.
Right. It seems like it's kind of like setting the stage, and it's like, depending on which ending he gets, he can just go for the next thing.
He's obsessed, but he isn't mad. That makes him a dangerous opponent. Whatever he does, he can't upset the Ascension Network. He won't give up his position as an agent either. I don't worry about the Ascension Network. I worry about you, Luna. Even though you aren't as obsessed with the filtering as you used to be, you're more entangled with the Ascension Network than ever. Thank you. I'm aware of my situation, but moving forward is the only way to the future. Something we'll regret if we turn back now. Forget it then. What should we do next? Should we look for more seeds that can pass the filtering like before? No, we can stop doing that for now. Do you want to go in and take a look if you can't think of anything right now?
Eva looks at the battered garden. The settles on the shattered window. The white paint on the wall was peeled off, and the yellow round wood structure underneath.
Even though there's nothing left. Sure. Let's take a look before we can decide on our next move.
Hawk toward the door and noticed some strange symbols painted in red. The colors faded, but the shapes are still recognizable.
What's that?
And suddenly chuckles as if realizing something.
What is it? Nothing. I guess it's some kind of puzzle. Sis? What? Do you miss the days with Roland and Lamia? Why do you ask? I can accompany you if you want to look for them. That's not necessary. If they want to find me, they will. But I suppose they both have something they want to do before that. Look at what this place has become.
Light enters the house for the first time in years. Other creatures crawling on the floor. Its front claws strong enough to tear apart metal plates, curled near its chest like a mole's. Though this mole is at least half a meter tall, even once curled up, the threatening beast is cowering under the pale girl's gaze.
There's nothing unusual here.
Alpha walks out from one side of the building and finds Luna staring at the head of a creature before her.
There's something wrong with it. It's afraid.
And watches the spikes around the head of the creature silently. Flexion of life from the barbs. On the spikes screams danger.
Yeah, understandable.
Luna waves her hand and the spikes formed by the PV dissipate into crimson particles. The head of creature quickly runs off as if being spared. Look at where the head of creatures went, and it contemplates.
Since when have you been interested in hetero creatures? I'm just surprised I can feel fear. Let me explain. These hetero creatures might be structurally different from the corrupted, but their behavioral patterns are identical, both driven by their primal instincts. The way they identify enemies is pretty straightforward. They're broken with a target, or they determine it by sensing if the PV is present. You're saying that they wouldn't attack an Ascendant unless someone's controlling them. And they shouldn't be afraid of us. Fear indicates resistance, and resistance will lead to rebellion. Is it scared of you or an agent? I don't know. It could even be something else. Where did you find it? It was just crawling around here, but immediately tried to run away after sensing my presence. Other creatures are not animals. They don't have natural predators. And I have the PV in me, which made his behavior extremely strange, so I trapped it. Did you discover anything? I'm not sure why. Could be the way it was programmed when it was born, or it could be an accident. You've shown a newfound interest in corrupted and hetero creatures on our way here. I suppose I'm hoping to find a new possibility from the way they evolved and changed. Nothing remains constant, being ascendants, humans, or machines. Now even hetero creatures exhibit unexpected changes. So is the standard of filtering. The Ascension Network is looking forward to new possibilities. New possibilities, is it? If there's something you want to do it. Of course. And you? Is there something you want to do, Lucia? Me? Perhaps there will be. Right now, staying with you and not losing you again is good enough for me.
Still believe they have plenty of time to discover their past or the future. Of course, it's never that simple. Storm carries the sand in the air. This red obelisk connects the earth and the sky, forming a suffocating cage and obscuring any sense of direction. Coarse stones smash on her artificial skin, making loud clanging noises. Compared to the cuts, however, the shakes beneath her feet are more concerning. Everywhere she looks is chaos. Nothing but a howl of the wind, she finds everything surrounding her crumbling down amid the quake. Where is she? What's happening? Is this real? She tries her best to remember, grabbing a hold of her fleeting memory, piece the fragments back together.
I remember. We were searching for something.
Alpha trudges through the storm within her mind as images flash by like a revolving lantern. Going against the current, she starts searching for where it all started. Is it really you, Lucia? This memory again. Today on Icefield, Alpha says her dead friend.
All right, from when they trapped the trapper, right?
Though she knows they're not real, she can't help but reach out for them. Yeah, I remember this. She had the bear, she no longer finds her old friends there as they're replaced by Grey Raven.
Let's go back, Lucia.
Command is still waiting for us.
Lucia.
She looks at the tags in her hand, the wings, the shield, and the symbol, still plain to see despite how worn the tags are. Her fingers head further away, and Alpha turns around ready to go. Clutching the tags in her hand, she notices something strange. Folds her fist, finds the tags embedded into her palm like an imprint.
Lucia?
Alpha has no idea when the ice field disappeared. A warm ocean breeze blows past her, gently rocking the tags on her neck.
I'm okay. Just unpleasant memories. Did you find what you were looking for? What I'm finding is not here.
After their brief reunion in their old home, Luna began searching for something as if received some kind of guidance. They've since traveled through city ruins, savage jungles, and freezing snowfields. Their search has not been fruitful.
I know I asked you before, but are you still unsure about what it looks like? I have no idea, but I'll know it's what I'm looking for when I see it. That will be something that can affect the Ascension Network greatly.
Hearing Luna mention the Ascension Network, Alpha begins to wonder if the increasingly frequent channel noises are connected to what Luna's seeking.
Let's move on if it's not here. You seem agitated. Is that the channel noise? It's fine. I'm used to ignoring it. The channel noise has been getting louder since then. We'd been looking until that tower suddenly appeared.
He picks the red cube of a katana and the reddish-black liquid leaks from the pillar.
Red. That tower was red.
Liquid drips down, her forgotten memories return like a flood. Oh, so she was also affected in some way from the head of her tower incident. Interesting. I didn't think it would see them as enemies. Collapsed building becomes intersecting slopes of rubble and rebars, blocking the path ahead. Shelters that were once invincible crumble before the natural disaster, factoring into broken glass and fragments that hinder the survivors. The small symbol appears on the walls of the wreckage. Spanning becomes a beam of light, melting the stone and steel before clearing the path. The air feels singed. The girl white puts down her hand, bolts of lightning still crackling between her fingers.
The obstacles have been removed. Let's continue, Lucia.
Alpha looks at the red spire they're heading toward. Though she clearly senses the highly concentrated PV within it, all she can feel is dread, a fleeting sense of loathing.
Is the tower the reason for the frequent earthquakes in the last few days? The quakes were just the aftershock of its emergence. There was strange PV activity underground as well, but it's not just a red tide, and they're all heading toward the tower. What does a tower do? Its appearance signifies that either a punishing virus or the humans are ready to be tested. The side that passes will get the chance to change the rules of the game.
Oh.
Sounds like a fairy tale cliche. That was probably what the person who made the tower thought.
Her smile quickly disappears, replaced by a solemn expression of faint anticipation in her eyes.
But that tower generally has the power to turn fantasies into reality. We can make use of it, Our wish could. Someone's begun their ascent. Humans have a head start.
When Lee entered.
Let's keep going. Isn't that what you've been looking for? If you want to reach the top, I'll drag that person down no matter how far ahead they are.
Singly, she takes a step toward Luna.
Were you using the Ascension Network, Luna? We might not need to enter the tower, Lucia. But there's still something I want to witness myself. The tower can't make our wish come true, but it's still an important part of the process.
Right, because in the end, she did need to go to the Hetero Tower anyway. We learned that in chapter 30.
Our wish.
A shakeable idea lingers in Alpha's head.
What is our wish?
What happened afterward?
It seems that the humans have won this trial.
The endless tower reaches the clouds, speaking merging with the blue sky. Red particles converge into countless streams, being absorbed by the whirlpool at the top. Life for the tower flickers as if breathing, decimating the red particles in an instant.
Human technology couldn't have achieved this. Is the conversion done by the tower?
And it nods, quietly watching the streams being sucked into the sky and getting visibly thinner every second.
We should go for now. There will soon be no punishing virus in this area. Although ascendants won't die like hetero creatures, our ability will still be affected in the vicinity of that tower. Will that tower convert the entire existence of PV on the planet eventually?
How will ascendants like them fare?
It is a path of trial and a symbol of evolution, but it isn't an all-powerful antidote. Neither humankind, punishing virus, nor the Ascension Network has reached a decisive endpoint. But a new beginning has begun. The Ascension Network will also...
Vision begins to blur. The speaking about Alpha doesn't hear any sound except for the raging wind by her ears. What would the Ascension Network do? The storm into space gets progressively fiercer. Cubic red pillars spring up like mushrooms, supporting the wavering mind space and finding over the limited crevices. Each step Alpha feels the toll it extracts from her. She turns her gaze downward only to find the mire engulfing her waist. The more she fights, the more it pulls her deeper into its grasp. Alpha is now neck deep in the dark red pond. Whilst that turmoil within her mind, she does not realize that she's being pulled into another maelstrom.
I remember.
Or she tries to remember, the faster she gets sucked in.
It has something to do with the filtering.
There are only ripples on the surface of the pond. Alpha's lost in the depths of her mind, nowhere to be found.
You're
Is this me during my time with Grey Raven? After Image of the Past? But what's the point now? I have no time to dwell on these. Memories so entangled. No matter whose they are. They stand in my way, I'll destroy them.
You're up.
Damn it, where's Lucia? She should be here with reinforcements.
This is... For Hero, this must be memories etched deep into his soul. During that mission, Hero got separated and encountered multiple corrupted. Moral and Shun were also overwhelmed by the corrupted horde. By the time I reached Hero, there wasn't a single piece of his cybernetic limbs left intact. He never lets me forget it. He keeps playing the sympathy card over and over. Treasuring up these memories serve no purpose. So you want to relive the glory days with me? Alright then, I'm game.
深淵に飲み込まれろ。
Merle, time to tighten our formation. Just the words I've been waiting to hear.
Merle and Shun. I almost forgot what it felt like to fight alongside him, even if it's just a memory replay.
弱い 深淵に飲み込まれろ
My team, Grey Raven. Is this our final mission? After this, Merle, Shun, Hero. Enough with these pointless memories. You shouldn't be here like this.
深淵の豪華で全て終わらせてあげる
Damn it. What the hell?
Let's take down this traitor, Grey Raven.
深淵に飲み込まれろ
What the fuck? Right, that would have been the time when the commander had betrayed her. Fire smoke cover the sky. Sounds of death fill the air. Shouting never stops. Clutches her weapon as if it's the only way to interact with this world. She repeats the same action she performed thousands of times, responding with the instinct she's forged with thousands of battles. She swings and cuts down the head of anyone in their way. She swings and breaks the enemy's weapon. She swings. Packed behind her is paper piles of dead bodies. Mercilessly lost all its colors but one. Filtering is a simple exercise, survival of the fittest. And is near.
There is no end. This is an endless cycle.
Someone seems to have said that before. Looks up again, the finish line is at her fingertips. How many times has she been here before? How long will this filtering last? Until there's only one person left? Questions that her perfect stance reveals an opening, a recognizable shadowy figure dashes toward Alpha.
No.
Because the shadow in half, as she did many before. Still, it only makes her more anxious. Does a filtering like this leave behind? As the marcher gradually slows down and thinks. All at once, as in shadows appear around her. Yellow kitties, as if having been abandoned by the world. Blade moves slower and slower, but her mind and senses have not been sharper. Like a kite wavering in the storm, she is tied to the earth by a resilient line, despite how far she's flown.
This must stop here.
Alpha doesn't know continuing will take her to the actual finish line. She is certain that this is not the path she wishes to take. As the thought appears in her mind, she feels the kite line behind her pulling her back. Drives monster back there trying to drag her back into the bloody path while trying to protect the fragile twine behind her.
The fate of that tower is sealed. Did the Ascension Network also change accordingly? That change is what we want to take advantage of.
Why was the Ascension Network changed? How can Luna and her make use of it? More questions arise, but Alpha still can't find the answer. Keyboard of Truth seems to have been intentionally removed. The line behind her pulls her further and further away from the monsters. And the depth slowly fades. Behind is the smell of pasture.
You're finally awake, Lucia.
But still, this area, it reminds me of that one area where Luna was trapped in during the BRS story. New filtering. Should be insects hide among the grass. Spherical bubbles reflect colorful lights. The round wall has been painted white. The neglected lawn has been mown into a tiny green carpet. Plus eye-catching features a two-seater swing. Froggy sits on it, looking out at the place among the surrounding flowers. To get the familiar yet strange view before, Alpha is a little shaken. Many bears deep inside her mind are stirred up.
Do you think this is better?
She hears Luna's voice beside her. Luna looks warmer now, no longer as cold as the moon she is named after.
I suppose. I wasn't expecting the place to look like this. It's bringing back memories for sure. There were some differences though. Still, I remember you asking for a swing when you were young. But you gave up on it after you found another toy you wanted more.
It looks reminiscent. She then touches the swing and starts swinging and squeaking.
So that's what it sounds like. I suppose. After all, this is just a simulation. I'll be direct as well then. Are you Luna?
The brief warmth from before has completely vanished. It's only caution in Alpha's eyes.
Of course it's me, Lucia.
Alpha doesn't respond. The question certainly didn't come out of nowhere. The girl who claims to be Luna would have continued explaining if she was telling the truth. Because that is the bond between Luna and her.
But some things are different as well. Shall we sit down and talk, Lucia? It's going to take a while.
The swing starts moving without anyone pushing it, accompanying Luna's unhurried words.
Let's start with what you care about the most, Lucia. I'm Luna. I'm the Luna you know. Luna, your sister, the agent. Luna who's undergoing a new filtering. A new filtering? You must remember how the spiral tower turned blue, right? You said the Ascension Network would change because of that. There was someone among the humans who has passed the trial of the spiral tower and earned qualification. The Ascension Network, being on the other side, has not evolved to that level yet. Seeking its own evolution, the Ascension Network has begun a new round of filtering on the agents and the Ascendants. Possibly trying to find someone who is equally qualified.
For someone to be the next stage, or the next leader.
A new round of filtering.
Alpha can't help but recall the mind space of blood and flame from before. If that was the filtering for her, what would she have become?
That's right. That was the new round of filtering for you. The Ascension Network needs more powerful representatives. It needs better agents that can carry out its will. But you've been resisting it, Lucia, which is why your filtering was so destructive and forceful. Luckily, you woke up early. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to find your mind that easily. What about you? I obtained some new access during my filtering, which revealed some things I didn't know. Our understanding is our prison. The extent of our knowledge is where the walls are built. The more we know, the larger this prison becomes. Acquiring more access also means a deeper connection with the Ascension Network, until one becomes an inseparable part of it.
And his voice gets more ethereal as the swing moves back and forth. Or ethereal. Alpha's memories finally resurface. She remembers seeing the girl lying motionlessly within the red crystals like a suspended puppet, and a sheep on the altar. That's the prize of the Ascension Network. The more one uses its power, the more one changes in the direction it chooses. There's no response no matter how Alpha calls to resist her. Change creak chillingly and the swing stops. His voice becomes normal again as if she's been disconnected from something.
Don't worry, Lucia. I'm not there yet. But gaining new access means new duties. That's the only way I can see you for the moment. I've chosen to stay here, and I can only stay here. Perhaps I'm too closely connected to the Ascension Network, as you said. Why must it be this way? Because this is the only way to find a new possibility. The Ascension Network might be actively seeking it, but doesn't have the ability to change. It's like a giant wall that loops around and imprisons all the Ascendants inside. My tie with the Ascension Network is so deep, it's not possible for me to climb over those walls. But it's different for you, Lucia. You've been wavering near its edges, which makes you the best candidate. Why the obsession with a new possibility? Because the filtering for the Ascension Network is an endless loop. This filtering will only lead to power and loneliness. But it doesn't matter what I think. What do you think, Lucia?
Right then, the tribute for the insect slowly quiets down. Bubble lights dim.
It seems that this is the limit. Although I can use my access to lower the negative impact of the Ascension Network on you, this will be the last time. What will you do next? The Ascension Network has restricted your freedom in its own way. Now it's trying to do the same to me. No matter what we do, we won't be able to get what we're after. Our time with it needs to come to an end. In that case, you'll find something that can help you in this research center.
This is the coordinates. Here, bearing Alpha's mind.
What is this place? Fort Winter is the secret research center we've been searching for since the North Pole. How did you find out about it? It was where they kept me before transferring me to the moon, after all.
Oh. Wow. So that's how come we didn't find it.
The Ascension Network connected with 2 brief signals there previously. Those are new specialized frames the humans were designing.
Oh. Imperia and Hyperia.
During the time that the Hetero Tower was emitting electromagnetic radiation, the Ascension Network briefly captured a 3rd signal in that research institute again. I'm certain that there is a device for you to connect to the Ascension Network without me there. To us, that is a door leading to the Ascension Network directly. Give you a unique position, entering in that state may find us a way to actually leave the Ascension Network.
I can feel mine floating away. Become small and small in a nostalgic scene.
Lucia, you're on your own now.
I see, so that's how they got separated. From mine back her body, Alpha awake from her brief sleep. Turns to look at the girl sleeping tightly inside the crystals as she was her chipping katana. Or she was sucked into turmoils within her mind, Alpha tries to rescue Luna from the crystals by force. The frail appearance of the crystals finds an impenetrable barrier that serves both as a cage and a shield.
A cage like this won't appear again.
Alpha places her hand gently on the crystals and makes a silent vow. I see, so that's what led her to having to find this facility now. 5:15 p.m., Area D12. A few constructs are going to transport craft as if waiting for something. As the transport craft approach, Alpha knows she's getting closer to her target.
The balance between Ascendants and the Ascension Network has been shattered. It's now a one-sided domination. It's time to put an end to this. A task force from Babylonia? No. It's the Purifying Force.
She did consider this was a trap before she made a decision, but encountering the Infer Hetero Tower is a riskier and more troublesome choice, just as the voice of the player said.
There shouldn't be anyone here except for me. They don't look like they're guarding or searching for anything either. Are they sitting and waiting for someone to land in their lap? That can't be. They don't have enough people for that.
Alpha observes the pacing constructs carefully. To make sure that there's no enemy hidden from sight, she walks out from her hiding spot.
I can't miss this opportunity.
She's no idea how many more battles she can survive until her mind's completely devoured. She's more than capable of handling these enemies before her.
Babylonia's transport craft. It'll take me to Fort Winter. To not overburn the frames bear to capture the transfer craft. It's sad I don't have much to go through so much trouble.
Do an investigation. Blockade control device. Okay. Time to take action.
私を見た者は深淵に消えるのよ。
Ah shit. I fucked up.
深淵に飲み込まれろ。
Ah shit, I fucked up. Nah, I had to start over. That was so bad. Damn. I was like, what button am I supposed to press again to actually assassinate them? I didn't remember if it was like a specific button or not. Oh boy, okay. At least I know how it's supposed to work now.
Alright,
let's try this again. Ah, damn it. Nope. God damn it. Dude, why am I doing so bad at this? I guess I have to take like more of my time to actually do it, because the moment I keep going instantly, I'm just gonna fail. At least that's what it seems like to me, so it's like I'll have to wait till they turn back around again. Because I don't think that guy's actually finding me immediately. Like, it's only after I trip the alarm. Alright, I'm gonna just wait. Let's see what I can do. Need to see how it moves first. Okay, so there. There, okay. That should be the opening I'm looking for when it goes in the other direction. Because it seems to be moving in a triangle formation. Oh, but I had to watch out for that guy too. Yeah, okay, so it'll be after. Oh shit. No. God damn it. I fucked up again. God damn. Okay, so I really just shouldn't move until I see it actually go that way. Damn. Can't believe I'm actually fucking up this much. Like, seriously, that many times? Holy shit. I pressed A. I pressed fucking A to assassinate. Why didn't it do it? Am I supposed to press the ping buttons instead? It's not being clear. Alright, oh wow, I'm already 25% in. Well, I guess these dialogues aren't really too long, since like most of this is taking part in the present, so I guess that's at least a good thing about it. But still, it's like, it's not telling me what I'm supposed to do. I'm pressing A, but it looks like A's being blocked, so it's like, what am I supposed to do to kill him? So let's press something to assassinate, but it's like, I don't see it. Okay, it could just be me. It could just be another one of those skill issue problems that I have. Which I won't doubt it. I hate that I have to keep going through this dialogue every time, but at least it's not too long. this again. I swear.
私を見た者は深淵に消えるのよ。弱い。深淵に飲み込まれろ。
See, I don't understand. It's like I'm pressing A, but it's not working. So it's like, is it supposed to be I'm hitting the ping? I wish it just told me that beforehand. If it actually is, because otherwise I don't get what I'm supposed to be doing. Unless I'm supposed to be taking down the machines instead, but I don't know. I don't really think that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Because it says assassinate. You don't assassinate, like, those kind of like stationary machines, right? Damn, I don't understand why it's being confusing like this. I mean, if I have to, I'll fight these guys, but it's like, I don't think I have a good chance of surviving. Just based on the fact that I'm doing this solo. And that when those guys fire his guns, it's like fucking annoying too.
私を見た者は深淵に消えるのよ。
Alright, let's see what happens if I do the ping thing. Because for crying out loud, this keeps happening. It's like, I don't understand what's the problem. Here. There. Okay, let's try this again.
遅い。深淵。
I don't understand. It keeps telling me to do it, and I pressed the ping this time. So, what's the issue? Yeah, fuck it. I don't care anymore. This thing's pissing me off because it's not really telling me what I'm supposed to be doing. Nope. My health is already too low.
遅い。 遅い。
Very good. These guys don't follow me. Okay, that was the case. Oh. So that's what this does? Okay. Let me do this one quickly. Stay behind here. Nope.
よ深淵の豪華で全て終わらせてあげる。
There we go. Nope.
弱い。少し興味が出てきたわ。 弱い。遅い。弱い。 深淵の豪華で全て終わらせてあげる。深淵に飲み込まれろ。
Yeah, I'm gonna just say that was bullshit. It didn't really give me any instructions. Even when I pressed A to assassinate, it didn't let me assassinate. It's like, that was just stupid. I'm gonna just say. Again, I don't know, maybe it would have been better if I had done a keyboard, but at least when it comes to controller, it did not do what it was supposed to do, honestly. I would say that's probably one of the very few bad things I've come across in this game, like, legitimately. Because, again, don't get me wrong, I love that like sleuthing aspect, but at the same time, it's like it didn't even give me the actual chance to do the functions. It pisses me off, especially since I was repeatedly pressing both A and pings and the different tries I had done. For 8 p.m. inside the transport ground, to make sure no reinforcement is coming, I've returned to the pilot in the transport ground. It doesn't have an official ID. I was hoping to remove the dispatching Sunday's tracking on the transport craft first. Surprised to find out undocumented. Not only is it unregistered, its flight log is empty as well. Is squad really the purifying force? Oh, Colonel. Takes a terminal from one who looks like the captain and starts inspecting it. Is this their mission data? They're only pretending to be the purifying force. Perhaps their mission will reveal the truth. Mission briefing lists the names of a few deserters and the last locations they were seen. It appears that they're here to search for deserters, which is what they're supposed to do. Something isn't right. I mean, what she observed earlier in her past encounters with the purifying force, I have a sense that something's out of place. They seem to be waiting instead of searching. As expected, an encrypted mail appears before. Officer finds detailed info on a construct. Seems they'll always be watching you. Mission target, Lucia Plume. Mission 1. Arrive in Area D12 before 17 GMT and secure the transport craft. 2. Wolfsbane should head to Area D12 to confront the assassins at the target. 17:30 at the complete Mission 1 and wait for her instruction. What do they want her for? No. More importantly, what were they waiting for? Wait, for Lucia? So they're actually after Lucia, not Alpha? Really? But why? What's the difference? I don't actually... Oh, is this what they wanted? They wanted to use... They probably wanted to use Lucia to get the stuff from Fort Winter, right? Because that information does concern Luna. Maybe that's what they were hoping for. I guess it could be. But again, they said something about like being able to do something against Hassan's pieces and dealing with the hero squad. But how would this affect us in some way? If anything, it'd be better for us. Or maybe they're trying to like use it as a way to like say that Lucy is like a defector of sorts by like interrupting recurrent operations. And even then, who would they have sent to even capture Lucia? I mean, it's fucking Lucia, man. She wouldn't lose that easily. Even though they keep making us lose a lot. Though she's not coming to contact with Grey Raven, Alpha's instincts tell her that a hidden thread is slowly forming a net. This net is gradually tightening, gathering up unrelated parties. Do you want to warn her? Perhaps seeing her will clear up the doubts in your heart. There's no reason for me to risk my life for her. Doesn't help what I'm about to do either. She probably would have fallen into these people's hands by now if it weren't for your intervention. I thought you didn't want what happened to you to happen to her. What do you think the person who provided you with this intel will continue to help Grey Raven? I interfered in City 75 because the Grey Raven Commander might have information on Luna's whereabouts. It was more advantageous for me that they were alive back then. Is it more advantageous for you right now if they're in trouble? What's happening to them doesn't really impact me. However, it has revealed some useful information. The Parliament shaped them into heroes. Now someone's going after them. How familiar. Obviously, Kurno's behind these people. Whether it's the Parliament losing its hold on the situation, or those working in the shadows finding a weak point they can target, it shows the humans are pointing their guns toward each other, which only makes things easier for me. And the person who told me about this place couldn't be aiding Grey Raven. She wouldn't have sought the Ascendant's help otherwise. I see. I guess that is true. 520 area D14.
Pistol lens accurately at the energy core corrupted. His bright red eyes dim and a clattering of metal dies down. It's the last one. I believe that you haven't encountered any Ascendant on your way to the new conservation while escorting the transport fleet. What a lovely experience working together this has been. I must admit that Babylonia's generosity has surprised me. Remember that we're always open for business on our future ventures. It's gonna cost a lot to restart the Eternal Engine after all. Right, because it was hacked to bits. Forgot about that. At the parting ways, ACA's cargo crew, Grey Raven, Lucy and you more specifically, receive another mission to eliminate more corrupted. Though their numbers have greatly diminished, occasional groups of corrupted still appear outside the clean zone. Lucy is responsible for taking down most of them, and you do your best to eliminate separated corrupted before they near the temporary camps. Confirming that there are no moving corrupted nearby, you turn the safety on your still scorching pistol back on and holster it. Commandant, are you hurt? I'm alright. Zia still steps up and gives you a detailed inspection before she relaxes. Good. You're not hurt. I've eliminated the corrupt in the southwestern directions as well. I'm not detecting more movement currently. Should we patrol the other directions now? That's when you notice a cut on Lucy's right arm where vital fluid is dripping out. Are you hurt? It's just a small injury. It won't affect me. Lucy's not wrong. Small injuries like that are one of the mill there. What bothers you more is, how did you get hurt? You shamefully corrupted shouldn't have posed any threat to Lucia. Was it the mind trance again? Yeah. The situation seems to be worse than you imagine. What caused it? As you deliberate the possible reasons, you suddenly hear a sharp shriek, allowing for a highly concentrated PV. Lucia? I should have warned Lucia when she pushed you away. I expect the force that you crashed into a steel plate several meters away. By the impact, you barely even hear the deafening alarm anymore. You need a metal plate to stand up, struggling to recover your blurred vision. Lucia! You thought the alarm was caused by corrupted hidden underground. It's actually coming from Lucia. Oh, the syncing! That's what it is, isn't it? Because now she's starting to sync more with Alpha. The mind corruption is actually starting to affect her too. But Alpha at least has a resistance to it. Lucia doesn't. It was a foreign, especially filled with agony. Tossers thrown aside as dull red sparks flash around her body. See for your own eyes that she's been affected significantly. Mira's device is not enough to stabilize her mind. She requires an immediate mind connection. Don't! Lucia suddenly shuts to warn you, as if she noticed something. She's too late. What the? A sense of suffocation fills your brain. Your heart feels like it's being torn to pieces by a pair of hands. Chaos takes over your mind as if a swamp is devouring you. The mind beacon's infected. You feel like you're back under City 75. Time searching infinitely. This unending moment, you sense a clear emotion amidst the sea of chaos. Hostility. Followed by the illusory redness, you feel a sudden sharp pain in your abdomen, then contrasting feeling of coldness and heat. But the vital fluid drips down the blade from the palms of you two on the floor. Momentary instinct saved you from a strike to your vital organs. Grabbing the katana with your hands, you avoided the worst outcome. You alone could never dodge a strike from a construct. Holding the hilt of her blade with one hand, Lucia's other hand, however, is clutching the blade like you. Strife, fear, hatred, disgust, regrets. Complicated emotions flash across her face as if a demon's fighting to control her body. Lucia. Pushing an avalanche back to the mountaintop while deep in a swamp, you calm down from the chaotic mind while slowly pulling the katana out from your abdomen. Don't lose to it. Commander. Sound your wound. You hear a cry of anguish you never heard before. God damn it. Of course this would happen. If I can at least get the 40%, that'd be good. General Staff Conference Room, Babylonia. Nicola pushes open the door and asks this question to her. How's the situation? Damage was minimal. Lucia stopped operating after she cut off her energy core herself. Oh, she stopped herself. Who knows about this? Santos was cautious, taking care of the injury alone and staying put instead of requesting help from other camps. The report was uploaded to the General Staff's encrypted channel, which Santos has never used before this. Ah, smart.
even in the face of danger, and even when being injured. Still thought on the fly to keep it a secret, which is good because again, it's like there are people who would leak this information.
I intercepted the report with my clearance because it seemed too conspicuous. Currently, this info is contained, at least on Babylonia.
Sounds like a secret signal Xantos purposefully sent to you.
Perhaps. The Grave Command is smart, knows full well what the effect of this action is.
I'm not surprised by what Xantos did. You, however, surprised me, Wells. What made you break the rule to protect them?
I didn't break any rules. I always have prioritized access to crucial intel as the general. Xantos is like a magnet for trouble. I just chose to handle it in a way that caused the least chaos. We've been confronted by something new every second since the head of our tower. It is the General Staff's job to analyze the situation and come up with a conclusion. Unprocessed info will only cause panic among people. President Hassan, even you would have done the same if you were in my seat.
I'm just trying to remind you not to show favoritism just because you approve of a certain person or squad. But the General Staff and the military are responsible for Babylonia's front in this war. We must remain rational at all times.
Here now, Wells reflexively reaches for the pocket in his jacket. Badge of Silver Hawk lines.
Oh, and that's probably also why they're also after Lucia too, well, at least Kurino. Because unlike Lee and Liv, who are always being watched because of their new frames and such, Lucy is the odd one out right now.
What? Nothing. You don't have to worry about what you said earlier. The General Staff's duty is to come up with a proper plan. My personal feelings won't influence that. That said, never treat our fighters as leverages that we can trade away. They're not expendable. That isn't rational either. That is trading your humanity for ease. A beast absent of humanity will become prey one day.
Will you still forget it? How long before Hassan arrives?
I informed him already. The Prime is further away from the General Staff, so he should be... No, he's arrived.
I've learned about the general situation already. Any more detailed records? Damn. Yeah, really, I can see it from his eyes. Hassan is fucking tired. I mean, to be fair, this is something that just popped up in the middle of his work.
The tactical terminal of Xantos recorded the whole process. It's all documented in the uploaded report. Take a look first. This is why I called you both here.
We didn't encounter any concentrated source before this. We didn't come into contact with any Ascendant either. I'm requesting the Science Council's assistance. That's all.
The brief footage ends after the summary. Graver Captain, Lucia was seemingly infected and wounded her commandant. Either of these would have landed her on a high priority list of the Purifying Force. Given how sudden and strange this turn of events is, decision makers must not handle it this hastily and ignore the real problem. Has anything similar happened to other constructs before, Wells? Sure, but only to constructs carrying out special missions who couldn't retreat from a heavily infected area in time. According to the location data of Xantos, Grey Raven was near the edge of the clean zone. The concentration level of the punishing virus is extremely low, making this highly improbable.
Right.
The other possibility is a case like Noan, who's found a way to control it. The report of Xantos doesn't show any trace of ascendants near Lucia. Now, whether or not the mind beacon of Xantos is corrupted... Remember, the people who are still under treatment, Hassan shakes his head. Xantos was one of the earliest people who left the hospital. Given the history of Xantos, they did twice the checkups on this commandant. And Lucia was the one who showed signs of infection first. It's highly unlikely that the mind beacon of Xantos was infected in the first place.
Right, not the same situation as Spiral of Kronos.
I agree.
None of us are surgeons of constructs from Star of Life, or experts of the mind for the Science Council. We won't find the truth just by talking among ourselves. Still, we need a hypothesis based on facts before we decide how to proceed. I'll cut to the chase then. Let's assume Lucia's mind was the source of the problem. What makes you so certain? Your instinct? Xantos might be an excellent commandant, but there's nothing special or strange about him. Meanwhile, Lucia... Don't forget that her mind has always been an uncertainty. The mind backup. Right, the leftover data of Alpha that was in the plume frame. That's probably what's really reacting to it, right? Because it's not like the old Lucy was really having that. It all started because she started using this. She recovered memories from the past. But now it's senses. She might be our most successful attempt, but she's also our only successful attempt. Of course, it's possible that Ascendants or hetero creatures suddenly obtain the ability to corrupt constructs from an incredible distance. But if that's true, we won't have to bother with the reclamation of Earth. During the first specialized frame, being the only success of the mind backup procedure, diving into the deep mind of an Ascendant. Grey Raven is special, and Lucia most of all. Yeah, that's the other surprising thing, is like, it may not be as world-bending as Imperia or Hyperreal, but just Lucia's existence herself is so unique. Not only because of her connections to Alpha, but also who she originally is herself, as the current individual. You're not mentioning all these just to form a basis for discussion, are you, Nicola? I'm not. I suggest recalling Grey Raven and sending Xanthos to the military for supervision and questioning. You want to put Xanthos in the military's care so that Colonel can imprison the commander in the name of observation again? You must have eliminated many uncontrollable factors if you can make a guarantee like that. What I did is no different from what you've been doing lately. I just started earlier. They've seen through this facade of our opposition already, so there's no reason to keep it up. Colonel might have a powerful presence in the military, but I was sitting idly by doing nothing. Their tentacles can no longer reach as far as they once did. What are you planning to do to Lucia? I can make as many excuses as needed. The Science Council can fix what's happening to her. The people who participated within the mine operation are in the same boat as us. However, the Science Council can't do anything about her condition. Nicola falls silently briefly as blood-soaked memories flash in his mind. The anesthesia like coldness triumphs. Extermination. Let her fade from view as a hero. Under no circumstances can she fall into Kurno's hands. Damn, but it's true, it would be too dangerous to have Lucia with Kurno. Who knows what they'd do? The impact on the morale of the military and the people is too great, whether we claim that she's retired or died on the battlefield. Everything involving her affects how much the people trust us since we crowned her our hero. That's the worst case scenario, obviously, but we're the people who have to prepare for worst case scenarios. If it happens, we have to find a way to survive the storm with the least damage taken. It will only drive our fighters into despair. If even Grey Raven can't live to see victory, what can we promise them? Yeah, they're supposed to be the final pillar, the last stand. Even at the risk of her becoming an Ascendant and defecting, we could plant a new flag if it's fallen, but if our enemies get a hold of it, the nature of the situation will be completely changed. We still need the flag to maintain the Parliament's credibility, otherwise none of us can hold to our post before an anxious crowd. There are some things we can only accomplish in our current positions. We have to preserve this flag no matter what. The military also has a line we can't cross. I must do everything I can to minimize the risk above that line. This dam hasn't already cracked from the mutiny. We can't risk total disorder from one elite squad. Not to mention the Colonel won't let go of this window of opportunity regardless of whatever personal feelings we have. They're bloodthirsty sharks. A single drop of blood will catch their attention. If Lucia's infection can't be reverted, keeping her is just giving Colonel more ammo. We're both trying to find each other's weaknesses, and you're willing to offer them a knife? You can argue all you want, but we had to make a decision based on the Science Council's analysis of Lucia. How do you plan to do that? Do you want to bring Lucia and Xanthos back to Babylonia? No, that'll tip off Kurno immediately. We'll let the Science Council perform a remote examination on the transport craft. You're willing to do something this convoluted? The Science Council even agreed to it? This has always concerned more than just the military. The Science Council has the responsibility to deal with the aftermath. We're all in the same boat. Don't count me in. I didn't know back then. You can't be excusing yourself at this point, right, General? Of course not.
General Staff will do our best to minimize the impact.
Damn. Can't believe it's gone this out of reach. Sensing a faint tremble beneath your feet, you see the snowstorm before you. Walking on clouds. Where am I? It's the first question in your mind. Like the ice field at ARU, there's brown soil and green sprouts here. It's not the North Pole. White mountain range casts a shadow in the valley. Looks like a wall built at the end of the world or the entrance to the dreamland. Why are you here? You're bewildered by the unknown landscape. So aimlessly, you see nothing but infinite white. Now you should head further down. Right then, you step into nothing. As the weightlessness overwhelms you and your field of view drops. Finally understand what you're seeing. The back where the sun doesn't shine are black cliffs standing above a field of snow. Look like intersecting castles, watchtowers, or monsters hidden in the shadows. Further ahead is a dark floor in the distance where the mountains are exposed. It's where you need to go. Certain of it. So heading toward it, but right before you take your first step, here is the third question. Who am I? Questions like a slap in the face pulling you out of chaos. Sit up abruptly and a wet object on your forehead slides down. Because beside you is seemingly startled and lets out a muted scream. A towel? Liv? How are you feeling, Commandant? Sitting beside you, she hands you a glass of water. And then do you realize you're feeling quite thirsty. As the water goes down your throat, you begin to remember what happened last night. That you took care of Lucy and said you reported to General Staff through the encrypted channel. You took a painkiller and fell asleep. Your roughly wrapped wound has now been professionally dressed. So you have a medical kit nearby, you're quite certain what has occurred. I'm okay. Just a stomachache.
That would be the side effects of the painkiller. You should take less in the future, Commandant.
It was a special occasion.
The commander sent you? Lee's also here. He's guiding the medical transport craft to our location.
Medical transport craft?
Yeah, I heard they're planning to perform a remote operation on it. What happened, Commandant?
Closing clutches her hands, resting them uneasily upon her knees and looking worried.
What happened to Lucia? When I cleaned your wounds, I found out that...
That bites her lip, seemingly unable to believe what she's verified over and over again. What did Commander Nicola tell you?
Our mission just said Lucia was unable to operate at the moment, so Lee and I were sent to support you after our inspections. Strangely, Celica implored us to trust your judgment once we arrived on the surface.
So, unnecessary reminder. Grave inside a squad of rookies that lacks teamwork. Lee and Liv aren't troublemakers. Those words seem to be meant for you instead of them. My judgment, is it? When Lee's done, I'll...
Incoming corrupted. How can there be this many of them?
Can't let them impact the transport craft. Terminal also marks out where most of the corrupted are attacking from.
Liv, head to this fighting position.
I'll handle this end. Lee? I'm heading there, right? I can always count on you, Lee. Our composite armaments can hit enemies from extremely long distance, so don't hesitate to ask for my help. Don't complain about me exploiting you afterward. I'll go to my position.
Commandant.
Liv wants to dissuade you at first, but she decides to leave you a reminder in the end.
Stay safe. Don't overexert yourself.
I will. My comms will be open. Let's go. Oh, okay, so I'm not actually going to be fighting as Liv. It's going to be myself this time. Yep. Cool. I get to have that happen. Oh, that's for reload. Oh, this is how I changed the type of bullets I'm using. That's cool. Nice, cool weapon. Alright, let's try this. There we go. Do this. Alright, did pretty well. The bullets punctured the frail joints of the corrupted accurately. Not trying to take them down, but slow their advance. Lee. Copy. You've intentionally left the corrupted into one place to take advantage of their predatory instincts. So movement means there's enough time for you to get to safety. I'll be arise from afar in the corrupted group in the center, decimating them in a wave of blue flame. Put a new magazine to your pistol, chambering around and cocking the gun. Pistol slide springs back with a sharp click, ready to fire the next bullet. It's your last magazine against the endless wave of corrupted that's still charging toward you. It's bleeding, yet weighing down the bandages. Still have to hold on a little bit longer. Open fire while trying to come up with a plan. Skills and tactics are negligible at this point, considering the difference in numbers and armament. There isn't another way. Though you are fighting side by side with constructs, command is often required their protection in battles. With a sharp pain from the gun's hammer, you fire your last bullet. Realize how powerless you really are at this moment. As constructs become more and more powerful, a human's frailty becomes the weak link on the team. You live and lean, respond to your call for help in your comms. They'll hold on a little longer. I invoked the modules of the corrupted, make an unintelligible sound like a beast growl before it's hunt. Ascend. Evolve. Who's there? Delineating on Snow Mountain near Fort Winter, Alpha's been haunted by an unshakable feeling of being watched.
Is it the noise again? No. This is a little different.
Able to gauge what it is, Alpha continues onward, trudging through snow and pointing to trees until her vision clears up.
You can see the tower even from here?
Breeze lifts the hair that covers her left eye, and the image of the spiral tower is burning in her great irises. The damaged vision module is suddenly filled with a horrifying red. Intense sensation makes Alpha drop to her knees. Suppress, accept, transform. Poison her audio module slowly replaced by the overlapping chant. Blood fluid dripping down from her left eye, leaving black scorch marks on the ground.
Corrupted.
Alpha has no idea when to corrupt this surrounded her. Doesn't even bother to check if they're real or not. Devour. Dominate. Like vultures hovering above, hoping to share the dying line. Flashlight virus grabs around Alpha, burning her painfully. PV, converted by the infraheteroid timer, never truly disappeared. Instead, they used this opportunity to locate the Ascendants, providing them with the nutrients to evolve. Or devouring them all. The vital fluid leaking from her eyes slowly becomes blackish tar. The green murky blocks and colors cover her whole body like a malfunctioning monitor. Corrosion is burning her whole body, and it doesn't belong to her fills her mind. Her clothes, blade, and even her frame are being deconstructed and reconstructed. Like the river Styx that Achilles bathed in, the highly concentrated PV envelops Alpha completely, transforming her frame and corrupting her spirit. This time, there's no Thetis that can pull her back. Seeing its motionless prey wanted to carry on eating vultures, no longer suppress its hunger and leap toward the target. But a mud-coated hand snatches its head instead, pushing it into a ball in an instant. The figure covered in dirt stands up, tossing away the corpse in her hand. Facing a tidal wave of corrupted, the person who was falling to the abyss sneers. Two figures are sitting opposite of each other inside an old underground casino. A smiling woman gently places her fingers on a stack of spread cards.
Do you want me to hit it, Vonnegut?
This was a private underground casino during the Golden Age. A spacious venue and the $1 million poker chips speak to its glorious past. Nowadays, it's a ruin with debris piling on the floor. Poker chips are once valuable scattered everywhere. All decorated machines are smashed into pieces. It took Lilith quite a while to find 2 intact chairs. Man, the man stares at the cards at the table without flipping them over, seemingly not caring if his hand's good or bad. Lilith pushes a card to her opponent before taking one herself.
Are you sure you don't want to take a look at your hand, Vonnegut?
The unknown is part of the joy of a gamble.
Are you planning to leave everything to luck? Or
luck is just a part of it. Is that what you've been meaning to ask?
I can never hide anything from you. I don't get it. Babylonia's purifying force is getting close to the truth. and we let the Forsaken discover the list of names just in time. They're going to find out the exact location of Fort Winter. Are you sure it's a good idea to let them know that... to let them take the Research Institute? Is Akurano still working with us?
Oh my god, it was! They're just trading information with him. God damn it, of course. But again, it's like, why would Kurano have given out information about Luna anyway? Again, unless it's that they give something valuable, but I doubt it would have been the Omega weapons.
Information is only useful if it's delivered to where it should be. The information at Fort Winter is meaningless to me now. It's the best time to play this card. Why does it have to be now? Morality only concerns humans after basic survival is guaranteed. The new world needs to bury these people in the graves of the past. Humans get their justice, and I get what I want. This is a win-win situation that benefits everyone. Stopping them from their victory will only incite a fiercer resistance. This isn't a zero-sum game. We just need to win more every time. That's why I won't hold you responsible for leading Alpha to the Kurano forces that were after Lucia. I didn't know. I just wanted her to owe me one. Lilith, it is ready. Thank you so much, Cinderella. Do you want me to bring anything back? For example, news on Kugawa Kurano? That's not necessary. Mother is all I need. Go. Confirm her status. Whether she's devoured and becomes the Ascension Network's sharpest blade, or gives in and accepts the network's gift, it is our duty to know. This is your final trial. Damn, okay, so that's how it is. Alright. I'm interested. Oh damn, I'm already almost at 50%. Damn. It did not take me this long to get through this. I thought for sure it was gonna take me way longer. But hey, I'll take it. I think I'll do this one then in the stream for today. Let me accept my rewards. Thank you. And we'll open Fate. Oh, there's a battle at this? Damn. Beams and lasers strike from afar, giving you a small breathing room. So your line of defense keeps retreating backward without Lucia's support. So the usual ambush just caught you all by surprise, suffocating you like a tightening net. So when you hear an unfamiliar voice in your ear. This is Discord for the Purifying Force. The proto-power armor is ready to launch. Stay away from the landing area. Power armor? I've only read about them in textbooks. A suit of power armor fully covers the wearer's body and requires an assistant AI to function. To be ravaging the world, an AI like this is more likely to be the murderer of its wearer instead of the assistant. When commanders on the front line are only equipped with simple exoskeletons instead of power armor. Right, yeah, because those can be affected more easily. Supply crate legs in the ground, which to surround the corrupted back. I'm gonna land to find a black armor inside. Live, covering fire. On it. Both Lee and Liv are apparently receive the same message. And white beams fire alternately, buying you time to put on the armor. Equipping the simple exoskeleton on you, you open the back of the armor with your access. Entering the mechanism behind you, activating close. Fully encased. Damn, I never thought I'd actually be more party action. Being your vision after a brief moment of darkness, hear a cold voice in your ears. Low concentration of punishing virus detected. Initiating proto-omega filter. Dear user, please issue your commands. Mark the locations of the corrupted. Tactical interface open. The corrupted before you're instantly tagged. Even the ones that are hidden from your field of view are marked with bright red outline. Yo, I gotta say, this is a cool looking armor. Quickly browsing the list of available weapons, you take out an energy pistol by your thigh. Energy pistol armed. Initiating recoil absorption program. Spring your remembrance. Shift slightly, supporting your optimal firing position. Surprised to find the armor knowing your shooting habits. See a blinding muzzle flash, but you don't feel any recoil at all. The energy beam pierces the corridor corrupted. Yeah, one shot. Aim, fire, aim, fire.
Power leaves behind heavy footprints as you advance, one step at a time. Fragile body can finally contribute to a real battle. No longer need to watch your teammates fall on the sidelines. Humanity's technological advance is finally changing the shape of this world. Oh, right, I see. Yeah, because before it would be hard to take it on as an enemy. But now, because there's a lot lower punishing fire's concentration because of the tower, I can actually equip this without having to worry too much of my suit getting affected and becoming the enemy. That is actually cool. Medical transport ground lifts off again, blocking the sun and casting a shadow where the three of you stand. After eliminating the remaining corrupted, the medical transport craft successfully lands near your temporary camp. Sleeping Lucy is placed inside a quarantine chamber in the transport craft while Grey Raven and you are informed of the new mission. I didn't receive any deployment from the dispatching center. Your mission is to collect field data for the proto-power armor the Cosmos Technicians Union assigned. Due to security concerns, this mission needs to be assigned to you in person. Please confirm your mission and sign a confidentiality agreement. You can decide the location of your mission, Commandant. Neither Discord's identity, the mission report, nor the electronic signature is fraudulent. They're trying to separate us from Lucia. But this isn't how Chrono operates. Chrono wouldn't have let Grey Raven operate freely. Why is Grey Raven asked to test a new gear at this moment? Is there something you need to see that cannot go through the military? That's suddenly pacing your mind. Lee, check the confidentiality agreement again. The analysis of her mind and frame is complete. Still, I recommend bringing her back to Babylonia for a more detailed inspection. If something unusual happens to her on Babylonia, we'll all be forced into a passive role, including her. Prison will be the least of her worries. I'm just being cautious as a researcher. It's okay. Give us your findings. Alright, but the situation is complicated. Operating remotely means I can only offer my guesses based on the limited things I found. Let's start with the conclusion. Lucia's infection happened because her frame's data was transforming to its original form. The data from Alpha's frame. In a sense, she's transforming into an ascendant. That's why the plume frame is starting to absorb the punishing virus. As if dropping a massive stone into water, Asimov's words stir up a tidal wave within Nikolai and Hassan. They've considered many possibilities, but what Asimov said is still beyond what they imagined. Although Plume's data originated from the Ascendant Alpha, much data was altered during its development. We made those changes because we wanted to protect its user, but also because we couldn't reproduce and recover parts of the original data. These parts of the data could be affected by factors we haven't found. Comparing Plume's early data with the original, and the one we just collected, one thing we can be certain of is that the altered data is attempting to transform back to its original form. That was the reason why Xanthos appeared to have a mind beacon corruption during the connection. Also, Lucia's Inver device is constantly receiving signals from a signal source. Our early estimate is that these signals are related to the changes in the plume frame, and are affecting Lucia's mind. Is there no way to block these signals? The signals are transmitted in a similar way to the electromagnetic radiation at the Hetero Tower. We can't block them completely with existing technologies. We couldn't even find out that her Hetero device was receiving some sort of signal if we didn't compare the data against the past records of electromagnetic radiation. Wow. So this is something that's like, it shouldn't have even been possible with our current technology. But again, the mystery of the Inver device makes it possible. I see. Yes, so it is. The Ascension Network, because it still technically sees the plume frame as being a part of Alpha, since that was her frame initially, before becoming an Ascendant, while it's changing Alpha to make her an Ascendant, it's doing the same to Lucia. But it's different because Alpha's transforming into an agent, whereas Lucia is just being transformed into an Ascendant. If I remember correctly, Hyperreal is completely immune to the punishing virus, isn't it? Can we use that technology on Lucia? Hyperreal's immunity comes from the Omega weapon installed within the frame. Right. You'd have to create a whole new frame for that. But the Omega weapon is not an ordinary device. To install it inside Plume would just be as difficult as designing an all-new frame for Lucia. Yeah. Because it is such a unique weapon after all. Besides, the root cause of Lucia's problem comes from the change in the frame's parameters. The absorption of PV is but a side product. It wouldn't fix the problem in her mind either. Do you have a solution then?
There are two. The first is to completely remove the Inver device. I did some testing. After turning off the Inver device completely, the parameters in Mind of Plume no longer had abnormal fluctuations. Which means if we remove Lucia's Inver device, the signal receiver her problem will disappear.
But that'll make her completely vulnerable to punishing virus. She won't be able to undertake any more combat missions.
I see. You don't want to go down that path, we'll have to turn off the signal. The second solution is to completely destroy the source of signals. While we haven't deciphered the method of transmission, we can locate the approximate range of the source.
So this is where the signal comes from.
Somewhere around this region. If we can get a little closer, we can better locate its exact position through Lucia.
What impact will it have on her?
Based on the data collected so far, as Lucia approaches the source, the signal strength will also increase, leading to increased receiving power. I can add a blocker to her Inver device through remote operation. It won't block the signals completely, but it can at least alleviate her symptoms. We just need to destroy the signal source during this time.
Do you have any idea what this source is exactly?
The available data isn't enough for us to find out its actual shape or form.
Right, because if it was just a regular alpha, they could probably figure out. But because it's still in the middle of transforming, it wouldn't give a clear indication. Plus, information from the Ascension Network would still be too advanced for us to detect normally. Especially since she is becoming an agent, not just an Ascendant.
That is to say, this source can be something totally unknown. Maybe it doesn't even have a physical form that can be destroyed.
Will this signal impact other specialized frames?
There isn't sufficient evidence. This is just my hypothesis. There isn't enough evidence to support it. So far, Lucia is the only one displaying these symptoms, because her frame data and mind bottom structure both come from the same provider. While other specialized frames were also developed from the data of Ascendants and Agents, they had different mind bottom structures. That is why specialized frames must be adjusted first, before constructs can use them. Which leads me to suspect the signal source can possibly be Alpha's mind activities.
Possibly. Why can't you be sure of that? We should be able to compare it against a sample of Alpha's mind activities.
I already did. Signal waves didn't fully overlap. The data is out of date. The chance of mind signals changing is quite low, but it isn't zero.
Maybe we'll meet more than just Ascendants there. Ever since Asimov marked the approximate location of the signal source, Nicola has been looking at his terminal trying to confirm something. Remember the Scarlet Revelation members who went missing? From what I remember, the Purifying Force was investigating it and found out Kurina's Project Winter and Ascendants were behind their disappearance. Is that right? Those believers were originally placed in the Forsaken camp. The Forsakens had also been searching for them after they were gone. Not long ago, we received an important message from Watanabe. It contained some information regarding the handover of those kidnapped believers. The Forsakens proposed a joint operation to find out what was going on. The Purifying Force set up a trap to capture a few suspects involved in the handover. With the information from undercover agents, we managed to deduce a few locations. And Asimov just circled one of them. I don't think they would do something so high profile. Which means, if they were the reason for Lucia's problem, something must have gone out of their control. That's good news to us. The more they're preoccupied, the more weaknesses they'll expose. Are you planning to use Lucia to find out this signal source? That's right. Whether this source comes from the Ascendants or Kurino's out-of-control research, it is worth finding out. Yeah, but in the end, it's all Vonnegut's plan to have everything all together. All the forces clashing in one place.
I want to do this one, but I kind of want to save it for next time. Well, I am at 49%, so I could possibly save this for next time, because it won't take me that long to get through this. If it's only taking me like 2.5 hours to get through this part. Nah, fuck it, I'll do it. Just because I'm curious.
But this will be the last one I do.
Understood. I will change the cruising direction right now. As for her condition... So far, so good. Her weapon has already been disarmed. I'll work with Asimov to install her blocker.
After Nicola hangs up, Discord looks at the fully armed members around her and lets out a barely noticeable sigh.
Even Grey Radiant can be abandoned when there's a need.
What do we do next, Captain?
We have a new destination, so we need to adjust our route. Turn on the Omega purification system, power up the operation cabin, and connect to the remote operating table.
Shuttle sadly trembles as it starts heading out for new coordinates. Lucius pushes it to the operation cabin.
I'll start installing the blocker now. Keep the shuttle steady.
We've entered the destination airspace. No suspicious target found so far.
Has the accuracy of the coordinates been updated?
We're updating them right now. Science Council's locating system needs some time to calculate.
What's going on?
We've been locked on by anti-air missiles. How'd they find us? This shuttle has the most advanced stealth coding.
Is it from the surface?
No, it comes from the air. It's an identified fighter aircraft. The entire cabin is lighted up by the red flashing alarm. Explain noise it fills.
Let's get landed first. The shuttle's not armed.
There's no time. Let's survive this way first. Let's grab something. And pulls up the control stick trying to lift the shuttle. An explosion is shaking the cabin. Another wave is coming. More foils were launched, but this time everyone heard something cracking after the explosion. I'm not doing damage. Fuel's leaking. The pilot tries his best to control the shuttle, preventing it from tumbling.
Evacuate the shuttle. Get into the escape pod.
What about her? Escape pods can only fit one.
Put her in a pod for now. We'll look for her after landing.
Should we wake her up then?
Turn on delayed awakening. Science Council said as long as the blocker was working properly, waking her up wouldn't have much impact on the symptoms.
Roger.
Put her weapons inside too.
Hurry up! I don't have much chaff left.
Get in the cabin now. Prepare to eject.
She wanders into empty darkness. If to refer to, she cannot even tell the directions. Is this a dream or the chaos in her mind? Able to find an answer, she can only take futile steps toward where front might be. She walks above her memories begin to ripple. Crying in the rain, holding a sister, deceived by the fake ghosts of the Frostland. Fought hard on the observatory of Kowloon, saved a white bird from falling off the roof of the church. Betrayed by many, loved by many, disgusted by how despicable and greedy people could be, touched by the beauty of humanity in the apocalypse. Like the matches held by the little girl, warm memories only lingered for a short moment in chilling darkness. She reached the end of the intersecting memory, she finally stops. Where to go now? What to do now?
The world is already beyond redemption. Why don't we just live an easy life instead of finding ways to change it?
But why do you look so sad when you occasionally gaze at the ocean?
We all long for a home. Even the sturdiest ship will need a harbor. Even the strongest heart will need to feel warm.
Home. But I have no place to go back to. The same memories suddenly come back to her. She's done something irreversible. Something to do with whether that person will forgive her or not. She's violated the unquestionable laws. The person told her not to lose. She already lost everything the moment her blade touched blood. Perhaps there's only one thing she can do. Leave. Leave forever.
Isn't it too pessimistic to think you are alone? As long as you still have a place with people waiting for you, that place is your home.
You've been fighting for too long. It's time to rest. You can have a rest. There are many things she has yet to complete.
You can leave everything behind and come over. I've always been waiting for you.
Just leave the rest to us.
Sister.
Lucia.
I couldn't do anything to help Luna, but the Ascension Network will never be my home. I never leave everything to others. My home is Grey Raven. I'll never break it apart or betray what I believe in. Even faced with endless battles, I won't fear them. I'll fight on. Because we both promised. Because we both had the same goal. To restore the world to its original shape. To bring new changes to this world.
System rebooting. Lucy opens her eyes again. Apart from a few indicators, the cabin's completely dark. She fumbles around and finally finds the button. The cabin door drops to the ground, letting the chilling wind snow in. She looks back at the escape pod and finds her equipment and comms device inside.
My equipment is still here. Someone seems to have added something to the info device. The comms device has no signal. For them to use an escape pod like this, was there an accident?
As he examines the slightly deformed escape pod, realizes the transmitter used to send distress signals was not activated.
Does that mean the enemy is not corrupted or had a creature?
Escape pod transmitter was manually disabled before launch. Whoever did this was probably trying to avoid being detected, as there was a malfunction during the landing. A few more failed attempts, Lucia turns on her terminal and finds an unread message.
This message is for Lucia, our mission target. I am Discord, a member of the Purifying Force. If you are reading this message, you have already been separated from the escort team. Based on the backup plan provided by HQ, I hereby give you the following mission. What is happening to your frame is related to a source that you keep receiving signals from. If you find yourself lost and are unable to regroup with us, locate the signal source. To self-rescue, you must attempt to destroy it. The source of that signal, it must be Alpha.
She is quite certain after recapping the memories that didn't belong to her during her hibernation.
Alpha. So this is what you've been fighting against? You really think that way? This is Lucia from Grey Raven. The following recording is not subject to any form of coercion or interference. It is entirely of my own volition. That's all.
After recording the message, Lucia puts the terminal back in the escape pod, grabs the name tags and decides not to put them in. Takes her equipment and walks toward the peak in the deep snow.
I must put an end to this.
Alpha opens her eyes. There's no more corrupted nearby. Such on her body has also disappeared.
Did I make it?
Taking on a chaotic experience in her mind, she looks a bit exhausted. Looks at her new frame. A white windbreaker flies in the wind, laying in the snow in the background. A black bandage wraps around her crimson left hand. Cannot contain the red electricity current leaking through the gaps. The more she uses the power of the Ascension Network, the more she'll transform toward the direction of its filtering.
This is my contradiction.
Her mighty powers considering her unbreakable shackle. A blade that cannot be sheathed will hurt not only others, but also herself.
Grey Raven. Huh. Even Grey Raven can be abandoned when necessary.
Alpha puts on her poker face again as she recalls the fragments of memory.
They're still trying to exploit the situation for their own good. How foolish. No matter what Grey Raven has accomplished, they're still a pawn. Alright, let me see what you will choose.
After crossing to the other side of the mountain, Lucia's vision suddenly clears up. On the sound of the snowstorm can be heard in the vast mountain peak. Unexpected figures shown up.
Alpha.
Alpha changed a lot from what Lucia remembers. Still, she recognizes her immediately.
I knew you would come. Are you the reason behind my symptoms? You already know the answer. Are you still hoping this is a coincidence? I just want to find out the truth. The Ascension Network is running a new round of filtering. You were incorrectly chosen as a target because our mind has the same root. A new round of filtering? That's none of your business, unless you want to become an Ascendant. So this won't stop even if I destroy you, right? Correct. Once the filtering has started, the Ascension Network will not stop until there's a result. Even if you manage to kill me, you'll just have to deal with twice the stress. Besides, you'll never have the chance. You ask me, I suggest you go back and spend your final days with Grey Raven. You can stop this filtering, can't you? So you saw my memories through the resonance of mind. Right, there is a possible solution.
Alpha didn't deny it. She paused for a while and answered.
Let's work together then. Do you even realize what you just said? I saw your memories, so I know you want to stop the filtering to go against the Ascension Network. Wait a second. We're enemies. Have you finally decided to give up Babylonia for this path? Pushing you completely to the Ascension Network will do us no good. I don't want to help it either. It's our common enemy now. That gives us a foundation for cooperation. What if I say no?
Lucia slowly draws her blade out, gives a chilling reflection in the wind.
I'll just do my best to change your mind then. No matter what it takes, I will put an end to this. I'll go back to Grey Raven and those who are supporting me as Lucia. It seems Grey Raven has become your weakness. It's taken away from you the courage of sacrifice. Sacrifice may be an option, but will traumatize those who are still living no matter what. I've already hurt that person. But after going through so many things, I've also learned the feeling of heartache. I'll never let it happen to others again. That's why I promised them that I would safely return. Regardless of what I'll be facing later, be it a court-martial, surveillance, or even if I had to become a research subject, I'll end this once and for all. Then go back to apologize to Commander and everyone who worried about me. You just never learn.
For also, she's her blade stuck in the same stance.
I once had expectations for you, hoping that you would unveil a different future for me. Who would have thought that you can only become more loyal to humans and end up a convenient weapon? Why would you do that? How does it benefit you? The lack of trust between us means we can only cooperate temporarily. I can't put all my hope on you. That I'm no longer clueless like I used to be. I must take action. You're digging your own grave. Still better than doing nothing, especially when the threat is right in front of me. If you really think that way, show me what you're made of then. I'm also curious to know if you really can contain this power.
Oh, here we go. The face-off. I've been waiting for this. But it's gonna be hard because I'm always just used to being Crimson Weave. Being Plume, that's gonna be tough. Oh shit. Nope. I know a bit about your techniques. Gotcha. But she has 100 health? Oh shit! Oh, she got me good there. Nope. Here we go. Trust that. Ooh, let's go. Oh shit, I was supposed to dodge that. See, slowing doing. Slowing that too. Alright, gotta take time. Damn, gotta have to dodge it. No, damn it. I gotta run out of dodges for this. Oh my god. No, she's doing this again. Oh god. Ooh, okay, she was waiting for me there. Now. Wait. Yep. Oh no, she's got a cup. Are you serious? What? Even I barely know how to use this thing. Nah. I'll be doing that. I need to get it first try. For my pride. And to prove that Lucia is truly the strongest of Lucias. And yes, I know, redundant because they're the same person, but shut up. Have to do this. It's on.
Just had the timing a bit weird, but as long as I don't do too many needless dodges, I can do this. At least I do know some of them. Oh shit! Nah, I missed! Here we go. Alright, that's a better start. No! I'm trying to dodge that. Just a second too late. No! Missed that dodge too! Oh, damn it, the cup actually helps her? Bullshit! No! Damn, she can actually use it to sweep me off my feet! Bro, that sucks. Oh my god. This is a nightmare.
seriously? How come she gets to use her cup? I call the bullshit considering Lucia doesn't have one.
この一撃で退きなさい。私
Ah, damn.
忘れませんか
Nah, gotta do it
ら。
again.
第に
Look, I have to do this, okay? Again, my pride is on the line here. Again, it's more meaningful of a victory if I can actually do it. The other time, sure, I gave up on it, but not this time. Not against Crimson Weave. Since it is my favorite character in the game, I have to do this. Gotta prove I'm better than this. My skill is legit.
この程度
Damn it! Still missed the timing of that.
退きなさい。この一撃で
Oh shit. Nope.
この程度じゃ
Damn it! Oh, I was stuck in those waves. Yeah, this is probably not worth it yet.
先人のガラスよ。私の刃になってください。この一撃で退きなさい。この程度じゃ。この一撃でガラス、私の刃になってください。この程度じゃ。先人のカラスバ。先人のカラスバ。この一撃でこの程度じゃ。先人、まだ終わりじゃありません。この程度じゃ。退きなさい、カラス。私の刃になってください。先人のカラスバ。この程度じゃ。この一撃で天カラスよ。私の刃になってください。私忘れま
God
せん。
damn it! I was so close this time round.
第に
Damn. That actually sucks. I was almost there. Just need a bit more. Okay, come on. I can do it. Again, I have to do this. Yeah, I don't care. It's like, I'm almost there, just accept it. No, I'm doing it. Can't be a real gamer if I can't even beat my best character head on 1v1. Nope. There we go. Finally got the timing for that.
この程度じゃ。
Oh shit.
退きなさい。この一撃で
Oh shit.
カラスよ。私の刃になってく
Ooh.
ださい。
Nice. There we go.
この一撃で
Alright, that's my first time getting through that counter.
この程度
Damn it. Let me get through that one this time.
この一撃で
Nope. Oh shit. Nope. No. Didn't dodge it that time. Shit. There we go.
先人のカラスバ。この一撃でカラスよ。
Give me it.
私の刃になってください。
Yes. Nope. This
退
time.
きなさい。この程度じゃ。
No.
一撃で
Damn, she is getting my runs counted. I want them in that. Nope. God damn. Didn't time like that.
この一撃で退きなさいガラスマよ
Come on.
私の刃になってください
Yes. Nope.
全身のカラスマ この一撃で
Here we go.
この一撃で
Yes.
この程度じゃ
Nope.
まだ終わりじゃありま
Nope.
せんから
Here we go.
私の刃になってください
Yes. It's a particles gathering off his left hand, linking together her consciousness and Lucia's. The noise for Lucia's mind gradually lowered, along with her level of infection. Were you trying to release your power and find a way to contain it through the battle just now? Did you notice that? We fought so many times. Of course I can tell there's something wrong with you. Stop pretending that you understand me. But you were right. Why did you do that? That's the only way to buy more time. You're right. The Ascension Network is our common enemy now. If we really fought to death, that would just be what it wanted. Are you suggesting that this is also part of filtering? That we can sense each other's whereabouts? What exactly is filtering? Oh, only the strongest Lucia lives. Is that what it is? Because then it will be the perfect Lucia agent. Some things can only be understood when you connect to the Ascension Network. Do you want to become an Ascendant? Then stop asking. Come with me. I accept your offer for now. You can still regret it now. I mean, if anyone sees you with me, Grey Raven will be in trouble. It has nothing to do with Commander and the others. I testified before I came here. Relax. The place we're going is still secret. Maybe they would panic more with that being exposed. Who knows? What exactly have you been investigating? The North Asian Research Institute of Life Science and Evolution. There's another name. Fort Winter. It's the most secret lab Kurino was hiding from the world. You'll also find the records of Project Winter that you've been tracing. There we go. But yes! Finally did it first time. Come on, y'all gotta give me props for that. It may have taken me a while, but I finally got it. Whew! Glad I finally got through a couple of those counters, because that was definitely what is, like, supposed my weakness. And that probably is what really gave her more of the openings to use the cup, too, so glad I didn't get stuck in that forever. That was a good fight. Who knows, I might actually do it again in the next stream just to have fun with it. Alright, that'll be the end of the stream for now. I'm already a bit over halfway done. I'm honestly surprised this chapter wasn't nearly as long as Renaissance de Fantastique. Not that I'm complaining, I'm glad it's not. But still, pretty cool overall, and again, getting to uncover the true secrets that Kurino's really hiding. Plus, it probably will display the connection with Vonnegut now that we finally have that damn answer after so long. But again, it's like, why would Kurino be giving information like that to him on certain things, especially about Luna? It was like, that would still have given them information about the Ascension Network without having to keep the deal. But hopefully we'll be able to see what happens after that. And then, possibly the next time I do it after that, we'll do Chaos and Snarled, and then just focus on floating memories before we go back to that. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for today, especially with the battle between Lucia and Alpha being my favorite chapter.
疲れたら寝なさい。昇格者と同じ部屋にいられる度胸があるのに、怠慢がバレて叱られる方が怖いの。安心なさい。誰もここでの出来事は知る由もないわ。
And it's also why I put Alpha as my current assistant for now. But anyway, let me give a huge shout out for Ria for showing up this stream. Great job with you, man. And like I said, I'll see if I'll do a stream tomorrow. Most likely I should be able to, but it'll most likely just be one. It probably will just be more of this so that I can catch up with this. And then Friday, I'll see if I'll do another Trails to Daybreak or maybe more Final Fantasy to again catch up to the main story. I don't know. It'll depend on how I feel that day. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream but not already followed the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check out my YouTube channel, post a lot of VODs, subscribe there as well. Join Discord, you guys not already. Links to all of those are on the channel. But this has been Santos Advisor. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See you guys next time.